Okay,
Okay. All right, today's song will be our Psalm number 4. Fourth Psalm.
hallelujah.
Yeah. Hear me when I call, O Elohim, of my righteousness.
Hear me when I call, O Elohim, of my righteousness.
Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress.
Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress.
Have mercy upon me.
Have mercy upon me.
And hear my prayer.
And hear my prayer.
O ye sons of men.
O ye sons of men.
How long will you turn my glory into shame?
How long will you turn my glory into shame?
How long will you love vanity?
How long will you love vanity?
And seek after leasing.
And seek after leasing.
But know that Yahuwah has set apart him that is holy for himself.
But know that Yahuwah has set apart him that is holy for himself.
Yahuwah will hear when I call unto him.
Yahuwah will hear when I call unto him.
Stand in awe and sin not.
Stand in awe and sin not.
Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still.
Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still.
Offer the sacrifice of righteousness and put your trust in Yahuwah.
Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in Yahuwah.
There be many that say,
There be many that say,
who will show us any good?
who will show us any good?
Yahuwah, lift up the light of thy countenance upon us.
Yahuwah, lift up the light of thy countenance upon us.
Thou hast put gladness in my heart,
Thou hast put gladness in my heart,
more than in the time of their corn and their wine increase.
more than in the time that their corn and their wine increase.
I will both lay me down in peace and sleep.
I will both lay me down in peace and sleep.
For thou, Yahuwah, only makest me dwell in safety.
For thou, Yahuwah, only makest me dwell in safety.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Way.
Welcome into this broken vessel. You desire to abide in the presence of your people. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise to your name. Welcome, welcome, welcome into this place, Elohim. Welcome into this broken vessel. You desire to abide in the presence of your people. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise to your name. We lift our hands, yes. So we lift our hands and we lift our hearts as we offer up this praise to your name. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim, for he has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and his Holy Spirit. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. For he has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and his Holy Spirit. Oh, I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. For he has done so very much for me. He has taken all my sins and his Holy Spirit. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim. I love Yahuwah, my Elohim.
Love Yahweh, my Elohim.
Oh, magnify Yahuwah, for he is worthy to be praised. Oh, magnify Yahuwah,
He is worthy.
for he is worthy to be praised. Oh,
Blessed be the rock.
blessed be the rock.
Blessed be the rock.
Blessed be the rock. Oh, magnify Yahuwah, for he is worthy to be praised. Oh, magnify Yahuwah, for he is worthy to be praised. Blessed be the rock, blessed be the rock of my salvation. Blessed be the rock of my Blessed be the rock. 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 Blessed be the rock of my salvation. This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. I will rejoice, I will rejoice, and be glad in it, and be glad in it. Oh, this is Shabbat, that God has made. I will rejoice, and be glad in it. Oh, this is Shabbat, this is Shabbat, this is Shabbat, that God has made. This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. This is Shabbat. That God will have made. And I will rejoice. I will rejoice. Yes, I will rejoice. And be glad in it. And be glad in it. Oh, this is Shabbat. That God has made. And I will rejoice.
Hallelujah. Is it 30? I don't know. Let's see.
We are Proverbs 30. Yes, correct. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Baruch Shabbat.
All right, today's reading will be out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. The words of Agur, the son of Jekai, even the prophecy the man spake unto Ithiel, even to Ithiel and Ukal. Surely I am more brutish than any man, and have not the understanding of a man. I neither learned wisdom, nor have a knowledge of the Kadesh. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in his garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Every word of Elohim is pure. He is a shield unto them that put trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is Yahuwah? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my Elohim in vain. Accuse not a servant to his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. There is a generation that curseth their father, and does not bless their mother. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet are not washed from their filthiness. There is a generation, oh, how lofty are the eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There is a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaws teeth as knives, to devour the poor from the earth, and the needy from among men. The horseless have two daughters crying, give, give. There are three things that are never satisfied. Yea, four things says not, it is enough. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that says, it is not enough. The eye that mocketh at his father, and despises to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. There be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The way of the eagle in the air, the way of the serpent upon the rock, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. Also, my bad, okay, no. All right, we're gonna do it till, I'm not gonna go to 18. All right, there be three things which are too wonderful for me, yea, four which I know not. The way of an eagle in the air, and the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the mass of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth, and said, I've done no wickedness. For three things the earth is disquieted, and for four which it cannot bear. For a servant when he reigns, and a fool when he is filled with meat. For an odious woman when she is married, and a handmaid that is heir to her mistress. There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceedingly wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The coons are but a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in the rocks. A locust have no king, yet go they forth all of them by bands. The spiders taketh hold with her hands, and is in king's palaces. There be three things which go well, yea, folk are coming and going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound and a he goat also, and a king against whom there is no rising up. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. For surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, we're going to our class reading. Deuteronomy chapter 29. We start at verse 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore has Yahuwah done this unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? The men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Mizraim. For they went and served other idols and worshipped them, idols who they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against this land, to bring upon all the curses that are written in this book. And Yahuwah rooted them out of their land in anger, and in wrath, and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is until this day. The secret things belong to Yahuwah our Elohim, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Chapter 30. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether Yahuwah thy Elohim hath driven thee, and shall return unto Yahuwah thy Elohim, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That then Yahuwah thy Elohim return thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether Yahuwah thy Elohim has scattered thee. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Baruch Shabbat, everyone. All right. Pray that everyone had a fulfilling week this week. All right, that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Merry Shabbat. Oh, that was just thought I was saying. Yeah, they say she had one on December 25th as a matter of fact. But speaking of which, y'all, today we're gonna in the spirit of what everybody's dealing with today, we're gonna deal with so we're gonna deal with the commandment of thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Okay, and so with that said, we're gonna start off right there. Exodus 20th chapter. This is the First Amendment of the Constitution. The First Amendment. Exodus 20th chapter. Exodus the 20th chapter. And start off at verse 1.
And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage.
And again, I have to stress the fact that while everybody else in this, the broad way to destruction tells us that the laws and the commandments are bondage. But when the Father gave us his constitution, he reminded us that he had brought us out of the land of Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. And I got to notate this because we're killing one less stupid doctrines. Basically, that's what Egypt means, house of bondage. When, first of all, Egypt is a Greek, come from the Greeks. That's why every time we read it, we say Mizraim, because that's what the biblical name of that nation is, Mizraim. But when the nation was called Mizraim, they didn't have, we wasn't in bondage to Mizraim. It was called Mizraim when Abraham sojourned there. It was called Mizraim when Joseph was sent there, right? And when he was sent there, he was he was in jail, in prison, and then there was a time when he ruled over the whole entire land. So that's just a really bad doctrine that they have concerning that. But for us as a nation, it was a house of bondage, right? Okay, verse 3.
Thou shalt have no other idols before me. Thou shalt not make unto any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah thy Elohim, am a jealous Yah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generations of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Right. And the thousands of them that love him is without race, creed, or color. You either love him or you hate him. Okay? Going back to that second verse, I guess I have to notate that because you got some people that don't even have the sense enough. And when I say the sense enough, I'm talking about Bible believers, okay? I'm not talking about people that just don't know the Bible, don't really know anything. That's just out of ignorance. But if you hold this Bible and you are void of understanding the Father's name, his name is Yahuwah. With the scholars, they took the name Yahuwah out of the Bible and replaced it with the title Lord. You can find that in any encyclopedia, any dictionary. That's what they did. But as the chosen people, as Israelites, we have to call him by his name, Yah or Yahuwah. Okay? I am Yahuwah. He gave them a name. He didn't say Lord. That's not even a name. It's a title. I am Yahuwah. I am Yah, thy Elohim. That's why when you find most of the prophets have Yah in their names. Or El. Absolutely. Either one or the other. Isaiah, Yah saves. Jeremiah, right? Or like you say, El. Huh? What did you say? Yeshayahu. Right, that's the exact pronunciation of what we say Isaiah. Or one of my favorites is Eliah. Or in English, Elijah. That has El and Yah in it. Elohim is Yah. That's a huh? Right. Elohim is my judge, Daniel. Mikael. Anybody know what that one means? Mikael. Who is like unto Elohim. Don't say no more, because then but hey, but that sorry, Yah is my help, I think.
I have a book of names. I have a place I have it down.
Yeah.
It tells you what the
But see, that's the thing that people don't see. That's the whole English culture. The English culture, we're not known to know what names mean. Right. They don't have I say they don't have a meaning, but all names have a meaning. It's just that in the English culture, we don't focus on what the names mean.
And some names, like all my nieces, except for one, has the name of God in their name. And Micaiah, tonight, Micaiah, Sarai, and Abiah.
Right.
All
Right. Yeah. There's this thing on that I've seen on Facebook. And like I said, I don't know how true it is. I've seen it. Y'all might have seen it. Y'all see this thing where they had a list of the slave ships in the registry, and all the slaves had Yah in their name.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't know how true that is. I've seen it, but I'm not one of the people that see something and just believe it just because of that.
Right.
You know, but that was it, because I had never known there to be a roster of actual slave names before our names would change.
They talked about it in the was Reclaiming the Throne. Was watching that.
Oh yeah? They talked about that in that?
When they went to Savannah.
Yep.
He was talking to the guy in at the church.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. But every single one of them slaves had Yah in their names. You know, so that's us getting back to who we are, to knowing the fullness of it, okay? So, bear with me one moment. Bear with me 1 minute. But anyway, all right. So let's skip to the book of Deuteronomy, the 13th chapter. And see, that made me think too, is that I think that in some weird kind of way that the name of Jesus is what they had to put in the Bibles as well as taking the Father's name out, because he wasn't going to allow his name to be polluted among the heathen. We can actually read that about his name being polluted in the heathen. But then when he brings us back to our understanding, we now can make this distinction between Yah and Lord God, Yahshua and Jesus. Just like I was saying today, and for those who are watching this online, this lesson is done on what's the day, the 23rd? Huh?
Yes, 23rd.
Right, 2 days before they celebrate their Messiah. See, for a long time, I was under the impression about, when I teach people concerning the actual Messiah, Yahshua was not born on December 25th. But in my ignorance, the people are worshiping their Messiah, which is named Jesus, born on December 25th. And when you understand Jesus, the name Jesus, it comes from Zeus, Zeus, and you read about him having a birthday December 25th. So I'm saying in my ignorance because I'm going to read this in a minute, and Jeremiah says, have the nation changed their gods? The nations have not changed their gods. And I'm trying to put insert Yahshua in their understanding of Christmas. You understand how crazy that sounds?
Right.
Haven't y'all ever thought of that before, though, like that before? These people know who they're worshiping. It's like back in our old congregation, we trying to teach these people who Jesus is. And they've been worshiping Jesus long before. They know who Jesus is. And they call it, I don't want to get too deep into that. But anyway, let's go into Deuteronomy 13 chapter, y'all, because we're going to make a distinction between the Elohim of Yashrael, who ain't got nothing to do with no Christmas, no so-called New Year's, no Easter, no Halloween, none of that. And we be trying to correct these people when they worshiping their deities. That's crazy. So we at 13 chapter, start at verse 1 at the top.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other idols which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
Now see, let's look at this for a minute. I want to use my words carefully here. If there arise, because there are a lot of spirits, y'all, and spirits that are in this earth can do some amazing things. But if you're not of the Most High, just like we read last week, Matthew 24, if it's possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Ain't that what we read in Matthew 24 chapter?
Yes.
If it was possible, they shall deceive the very elect by these signs and wonders. And here goes somebody arising. He say he a prophet, and he's a dreamer of dreams, and he giving you a sign and a wonder. And guess what happened? And a sign of the wonder, it actually come to pass. Well, we're going to assume that this person got the power of the Most High because of this sign. You understand? That's what he said. He said, whereof he spake unto thee, but then at the same time said, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Y'all understand that? Hey, man, look, you can't tell me Jesus ain't did X, Y, and Z for me.
All right, now we better talk.
I done seen Jesus perform these signs and wonders. Do this address that or do it not address it? Y'all told us that that's what was gonna happen. So don't be mystified when somebody comes, man, look, I don't care what you say, well, I bear witness of what Jesus did for me, X, Y, and Z. Oh, absolutely. And even in my own personal life, I can testify that if nothing else, in the name of Jesus, he given me knowledge and understanding. That's my witness. But it wasn't the name of Jesus that did it. It was my heart that the Father judged me according to. Huh?
That's the thing. That's the when people say about miracles and wonders and stuff happening in their lives, it's not because of a name, it's because you believe in
Absolutely.
faith that this thing will happen. And you manifested it in your life.
Right.
Manifestation is more of a spiritual thing than a physical thing.
Yeah.
Or speaking somebody's name.
Yeah.
Like when you speak something into existence, words are words are powerful. Like once you have that faith and you do it according to what your faith has come, it's going to manifest itself.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what we do. We philosophize our way into ignorance, if that makes sense. When the Father appeared to Shemaiah, that's the actual name of Moses, before he was called Moses, Shemaiah, the Father appeared to him in a burning bush, and he gave him a commandment to go do X, Y, and Z. When the Father gave, and I'm using him as an example, did he know the law and all of the things pertaining to the law when the Father gave him a commandment to go?
Shemaiah?
Yeah.
No, he just was moving out of obedience.
Right. But that's the way the Father operates.
Right.
He didn't know all the stuff that he would come to know later on. But then we get started. Oh, look, man, the Father came to me. So that must mean that everything that I'm doing right. Huh? It doesn't mean that. Who here gonna debate whether, and I ain't gonna be too deep on him either, who here gonna debate whether Jonah was actually a prophet or not? This dude got a book in the Bible, Jonah. And this dude was wicked as I don't know what. His whole mindset was wicked. Huh?
He was hard-headed.
He was hard-headed, but I can't question whatever the dynamic that the Father had with Jonah. It was what it was. Look, Jonah, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. And this dude did everything opposite of what the Most High told him to do. And when you close the book of Jonah, you don't even know if he even came to his senses at all. After being swallowed up by a fish, this dude was still obstinate in his spirit.
He was optimistic of, this going
Like I said, obstinate, meaning that he was determined to just be wicked for no reason. But like you say, he was optimistic, thinking that he would get what he want out of the deal. Sitting up on a hill eating popcorn, waiting for the fireworks to go off. And then he doggone near cussed the Father out. I knew you was gonna do that. But see, he is, I'll say I wasn't gonna be deep on him, but Jonah is the prototype of Israelites today.
Maybe that's why the Father allowed it.
That's right. Hallelujah. I can believe that. He is, when you think of One West, you think of Jonah. Because I'm sure that everybody he talked to, he's like, boy, them wicked Assyrians, Jack, man, I can't wait till the Father bring the
smackdown.
Or the nuclear bombs, or what they be saying on them. And then the Father calls him to go to the very people that he had disdain for. And then the king of Assyria turned out to be more righteous than the prophet of God. Huh? Come on, that Jonah is a lesson, man. I can see him be 3 hours on Jonah, because that's what the king of Assyria, who didn't even look at Jonah's face, he got information about Jonah from a third party.
Yeah, he didn't even know the man.
He ain't know the man. He ain't heard his voice or nothing. Dude came to him and said, "Hey man, this is a weird looking Hebrew down there, man. Dude look crazy. Dude look like he got swallowed up by a fish and been in the belly of the fish for 3 days, and he smelled like anything." And dude talking about something about some 40 days. I love talking about that. About some 40 days. And that was his, and the thing is, his message was short and sweet too. He didn't have to be like and Shemaiah said in the book of the he got there 40 days. And the record skipped. The party was over. I don't know who the name of that king of Nineveh was. If I could do some research, maybe to come up. But when somebody whispered this here 40 days, you're like, no, not on my watch.
Party's over.
Party over with. I don't know who that prophet was, but you say he Hebrew, okay? That's all the thing you need to tell me, right? See, that's the thing. We don't even understand how powerful we was back in the day. That's not in our history books. That's not even in our history books. But when somebody knew that there was a Hebrew prophet come around, they're like, oh man, stop. Something's wrong. We don't even want to see this dude come around because that means something is about to go. That's just how powerful we was back in the day.
And that one thing about these so-called prophets these days, they come in with good news.
Oh yeah.
We actually, an actual prophet ain't gonna come with no good news. He's gonna tell you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can get it right.
That's right.
Your sister said he was stiff-necked, hard-headed, and rebellious, aka like Israelite.
Oh yeah, absolutely crazy. But the very people he hated, the Father sent him to, man. That right there is just mind blowing right there. And that king was like, no, look, all y'all, I don't care how your baby, your toddler.
Yep, take him off and yep.
That's right. Get him off that nipple. Ain't nobody gonna eat nothing. Ain't nobody gonna drink nothing. Hey, he put on sackcloth and ashes. This king, a foreign king don't even function like that in real life. That a foreign prophet would come and say X, Y, and Z, and he's gonna be just totally obedient. That just show you how powerful Israel was. But most kings would have been like, man, who he think he is? Man, somebody go get this dude and lock him up. This wild, crazy sounding dude. Man, that king didn't even think twice.
But you know what, though, that's also, that's good reference too, because as far as a lot of different camps and groups out there, don't want to help no other races, don't want to help
Absolutely.
You know, but we was back then, we was still going to.
That's right. Because see, they don't understand. See, this is what they think. They think that, the Father loves us, Israel, and he's going to bring us out of this, and then all the other nations going to bow down and be in captivity with that. Bro, let me give you a dose of reality, okay? The dose of reality is that if the Father loved us that much, then why are we here? That's the reason why Yeshua said to go to all nations, because we're going to be scattered in all nations. Bro, you convoluted in your thinking. Why were we scattered in all nations? Because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. They don't ever deal with that part. They think we just popped up here. No. We had a job to be the mouth of YAH in all nations, and we did not do it. Simple as that.
But the same thing was part of the country, actually part of the blessing too, because by us being scattered into all nations now, we can actually teach.
But that was, this again, that was part of it. Right. That's the part of it.
Still, you know,
right.
Even in our
right.
So to speak.
Yeah. But see, Deuteronomy tell us that in the blessings, we were gonna be above all nations, but at the same time, being above all nations, we would be ministers.
Yes, sir.
Huh? You are just like the way a pope is supposed, the priest is supposed to be like, right? They supposed to be the most respected representative of God, but then at the same time, by status, they are above the people. That's what we were supposed to be. Same thing. Being a blessing to all nations. But the whole world is cursed. Why? Because of us. They don't tell them, why they ain't telling nobody that? We are the reason why the whole entire world is all messed up right now. And getting worse day by day by day by day. We are the reason why. But here again, giving an example of this prophet, and the Father warns us in Torah that this false prophet is going to be able to do signs and wonders, and he's going to say, let us go after other deities. which you have not known, and let us serve them. Verse 3.
Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahuwah your Elohim proveth you to know whether ye love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul.
Man, have y'all ever read this passage and thought about it like that before, though? Concerning somebody be like, man, Pastor Jenkins at my church, man, oh man, that dude got some spiritual understanding, spiritual insight. But then he ain't teaching you what thus said the Most High. And everybody mesmerized by whatever power and signs and wonders that this guy got. But the scripture warns us of this very same dude right here.
Motivational speakers.
Huh?
Motivation.
Oh, motivation, man. Come on, man. That's more than motivation, man. I mean, it's one of them things where the dude gonna tell y'all, man, you've been unemployed for some time, bro. Tuesday, you will be working. And then come Tuesday, you working. And then I ain't gonna see yourself no more. Forget what y'all little green joint talking about. That's right. Bishop Jennings, Jack. That's the man.
So give, all right, now you ain't got no jobs. Like, give me $500 and next week you will have a job.
That's right. That's right. Father said, thou shalt not hearken to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yah your Elohim proved you, and he proves us too the same exact way. Proves us in the same exact way. You know, little stuff. Yeah, I know y'all, be dealing with that word or whatever, man. But over here, man, we got an outstanding choir. Over here,
Mass choir.
Mass choir, man. And the stuff that going on over here, man, they really know how to praise the Lord. They rocking it out. Yeah, but he said the Father is proving you to know whether you love God your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. If you are a servant of Yah, you're gonna get proven.
Yeah.
Believe that. Verse 4.
Ye shall walk after Yahuwah your Elohim and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahuwah your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Mizraim and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way which Yahuwah thy Elohim commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee.
So the Father says you that, my word, when I've commanded you, there's nothing above that. Ain't no flesh, no spirit, or nothing in the world shall to separate you from my law, statutes, and ordinances. Period. Period. End of story. Whether you call yourself New Testament, whatever testament, whatever spiritual testament, whatever, ain't nothing on the face of this earth will ever come between what I have commanded you to do and what you need to be doing. Go ahead.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other deities, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy father, namely the idols of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth.
Wherever they happen to be, from one end of the earth to the end of the earth, your own relatives. I know y'all, do y'all little thing on Shabbat, but we had this great big concert that happens once a year. Man, got Yolanda Adams coming there. Kirk Franklin gonna be coming there. Man, Marvin Wine is gonna be there.
All of them heathens too.
Man, celebrating the birth of Christ. Man, and that look, the ticket for this event, man, is $100. Well, I got you, bro. I got you.
Oh, you gonna pay for the ticket?
Man, look, if you ain't got nothing to wear, I'm gonna hook you up. And bro, I ain't gonna tell you about the you'll be married by the time you come up. You have to really know YAH to be able to resist certain things like that. Because the average person ain't gonna resist nothing like that. I cannot even be religious. Say if I wasn't religious, oh, I bet you I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going. That's just how easy that is. Huh? That's just how simple it is. You don't have nothing on you that would make you see that this thing that looks so beautiful through the eyes of man, through the eyes of your wife, your child, your auntie, your mama, because they don't have what you have. They don't know YAH the way that you should know YAH. Huh? But he said, look, he let you know that it's possible that your own family member, kinsman, friend can entice you to do something contrary to the Most High. Okay? Verse 8.
Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people.
Because the Father didn't play, but we played. And we let certain things like this come and we kept it to ourselves. We kept it to ourselves because we love our kinsmen and our close friend more than YAH. But see, what happened is this. People might look at it and say, man, that's kind of harsh. But guess what, though? We are in another land in captivity because we didn't do what YAH told us to do. Huh? Because what happened is this. I come to you and I, like, man, your son, that's mine see, right? But you have feelings toward me and you like, I'm going to let Josiah go ahead about his business. Don't let him go ahead and have it between me and him, but brother, I can't go. But guess what though? It don't stop there because now I'm going to other people, right? I'm building up my wickedness. But to me, I don't see it as wickedness. I just see it something that I like to do, right? And you tell me no, but I don't stop. And so that affects Israel as a people. And that's why we ended up where we went up. Because we hated all our prophets, man. Every single one of our prophets, we had disdain for them. Horrible. But the Father, he said, look, I have to remove this uncleanness out of Israel.
You know what? The thing about the Father, he's so merciful, he gives us a warning.
True that.
There's a lot of warnings out before the destruction comes.
True that.
Up until the moment of the destruction.
That's right. I'm glad you said that. That was awesome. I'm glad you said that. Because when I came to this brother with this, you said no, but then you could have gave me a warning at the same time. Man, brother, you might need to repent from this thing that you're trying to do. And now I'm at the crossroads. I'm either gonna hearken to this brother and say, right. You right, man. I don't even know why I was like that, man. That is not according to YAH. But then my spirit gonna be like, you know what, man, forget that. And now, like you say, I done put myself in judgment.
Yeah.
Huh?
Because one, you heard the warning.
Yeah, heard the warning.
And you didn't. You said, yeah, you agreed to it.
Right.
But you did the opposite.
Right.
So not only you disobedient, you're a liar too.
No, all that. And like I say, it don't get better. Go ahead, Cynthia.
No, I mean, I don't know if you was gonna touch on this person, but I just think about King Solomon.
Right,
How,
Ooh.
you know, his heart
right.
was turned away because of the women that he married, you know, worship other deities. And, you know, so many people, you know, even coming up, people thought like he was one of the wisest
I
kings.
love that. I was gonna
But
say
I'm
that.
like, wise?
Yep.
I don't even know if his name is gonna be in the book of, you know, it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Absolutely.
in the book of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. For the car.
Who in the way? Somebody in the way?
You can help me? I on that toward that.
Yeah, King.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, he's looking for
You
them.
looking for your
Okay.
car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
King Solomon is an excellent example. He is one of the best examples you can give in this. Because all of us, as citizens of Israel, we knew that this king was wise. And we knew that the Father blessed him, baruched him according to his heart. But then, like you said, at that moment when he turned away, we were still too scared to rebuke him as a king, to try to get him to be right. And that's what we do. We judge men according to flesh.
Because even when we talk about that last sentence, where you said that it may sound harsh, but
About
thou shalt surely,
right.
kill him.
Uh-huh.
Because I think about King Solomon.
Right.
You know how he was, like you said, the Father has blessed him
Yeah.
so much in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and he let all those women,
Right.
wives, turn him away,
Right.
to where he's not even going to be in the book of life.
Right.
So you want to get those people out of your life, because you want to see the Father. You want to have eternal life with the Father.
Yep.
You
Yep.
don't want anybody to interfere with that.
That's right. What verse we at? Is that 10?
Yeah, 9.
Uh-huh.
But thou shalt surely kill him, thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from Yahuwah thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Mizraim from the house of bondage. And all Yashrael shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among
Because
you.
that's what that death is supposed to represent. The death is representing life for the people. Because now y'all done put away the evil, y'all fear Yah, and y'all have learned that, oh, whatever that dude, I don't want to go that route. But we as a people did not function like that, though. Look at that whole incident between Shemaiah and Korah, his cousin. When the whole ground opened up and put Korah and all them in there, and we saw that, we might have feared for that second, but then we're going to turn around and curse Shemaiah out. I think somewhere said that you done kill the people of Yah. That's what they said. You killed the people of Yah, as if Shemaiah had the power to open up the ground and put people in it. That's just how messed up we are in our spirit and our lack of understanding. But that's what he said. All Yashrael shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. That's what a regular people would do. We not regular though. Verse 12.
If thou shalt hear saying one of thy cities, which Yahuwah thy Elohim has given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Baliel, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other deities which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search, and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing is certain that such abomination is wrought amongst you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, every whit, for Yahuwah thy Elohim, and it shall be an heap forever. It shall not be built
You talking about
again.
a whole city in Israel, maybe Bethlehem, Ashkelon, whatever city it is. When they go and turn themselves to a political party, which is not serving the Father but doing some other things, the whole city got to go. Verse 17.
And there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thy hand, that Yahuwah may turn from their fierceness of his anger, and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of Yahuwah thy Elohim.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Let's go on to the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And let's start this off at the 36th verse.
Yahuwah shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee into a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other idols of wood and stone.
Now, I can pretty much ascertain that America kind of fits the criteria of a nation which neither we or them or their fathers have known. Would that be a safe bet? Huh?
Absolutely.
And there you shall serve other gods, wood and stone. Somebody can, I want somebody to explain to me how Jesus don't fit into that dynamic. See, again, certain things, when you lack understanding, just don't feel right. Because why? Because you was indoctrinated into a whole nother dynamic. See, somebody that might be sitting here was never religious at all, they'd be like, oh, damn, that is Jesus, ain't it? It'll make sense to them. But if you've been serving this idol all your life,
That's crazy because from birth, like it's a cycle of things that happen. You know, even from birth, it's a cycle that your parents continue to do. It's a cycle
Right.
that your parents
Absolutely.
continue to do, which was indoctrination.
Indoctrination, absolutely. But here he said, let me repeat that again. I'm in 36. Yahuwah shall bring thee and thy king which thou shalt set over thee into a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So that means that when I come into this nation, and it happen to be the land of my captivity, which we actually going to read in another place, huh? And whatever they tell me, this is God. His name is X, Y, and Z. Right off the bat, you gotta be like, oh, that's not YAH. That's not YAH. He done gave me fair warning. He done gave me fair warning. I'm now living the prophecy that was given however many years ago. It's like in that movie excerpt that you ever seen the movie excerpt I got on my channel, taken from that movie called The Amazing Grace, where they're in the African village and they party and dance or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that. I thought
Yeah,
of that.
prophet come up, old prophet, and say, like, pay attention, the time has come upon us where ever since we have left our brothers in the east, all this evil come upon us. And now it is finished or whatever. And then here come them Gentiles, come to take them into captivity. They all in the hub. And while they're in the hub, it's just so deep. That same dude that was prophesying to him, he praying to YAH. And the dude shoots him, shot him. Yeah, shot him.
Yeah.
He ain't shooting everybody else. He putting them into captivity. But this prophet here, he can't go into captivity with them.
He would turn them.
Huh?
He
Oh
would turn
yeah.
them back to where
And see that's the same thing I say about the whole thing with Kunta Kinte. Kunta Kinte was up on that rope and he was giving him his new name. He got to, if he didn't accept that new name, he was gonna die hanging right from that rope. Most of us don't comprehend it. We be thinking that, no. Do you understand that a slave with that? You see the mansion, the plantation they live in with the Corinthian columns and stuff like that. A slave costs more than the house. That a slave costs more than the house. That house. So to kill them or to even harm them, that's your money. But it was just that deep that you're not gonna go into this field talking about your name is Kunta Kinte. You're not gonna, I don't want there to be any type of connection between where you come from and the other people. And it was crazy because we'd have heard Kunta Kinte, we'd have laughed at that name. Cause that's where our mindset was. Like, oh man, you African, whatever, booty scratcher, whatever they call it. You know, when you kid, you say you African booty scratcher. But that's what we didn't think of an African that came off the boat, somebody that we're gonna learn something from. Right. In our mind, we know way more than what this strange talking dude gonna be. But the master didn't think like that. Master be like, oh, he got to be Toby. He either be Toby or die. Ain't no three choices in it. But like I said, we didn't comprehend that. But it's the same thing in that movie, man. That dude was that dude like, hey, whatever coming out of this man's mouth, man, we need to shut him up now. Because he ain't gonna do us no good in captivity. Any of y'all that don't know the clip, man, I can show it to y'all after class. But I wish I would have, you know what, Cynthia, I wish I would have set up that screen and a projector. I'm thinking about doing that for February's thing. I want to do something, but if not, it's all good. Where we at? Oh,
37.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I need to read that part. 37. Oh yeah, go ahead. You can read that.
Okay. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether Yahuwah shall lead
And
thee.
see, that fits right into what I'm just talking about right now, right? Because Kunta Kinte was our ancestor, and he said, when you come into this land, whatever gods they serve, that ain't gonna be the Most High. And guess what? You losing your name too. You're gonna be a byword, a proverb, and an astonishment among all. That's all nations. All nations where Yah shall lead thee. Just think in our mind before the Father allowed us to come into the knowledge of who we are through these scriptures, we really, really, really drew a blank when we try to deal with what we were before slavery. No other people have that type of heritage.
Nope.
Huh?
The only history we know is slavery.
Right. Before slavery, you draw, it's just a dark, black, like sleep.
Ain't no post-slavery.
Huh?
This is what you was.
Hmm?
No, that's not true.
Hey, look,
No post-slavery.
we've been over here for almost 500 some years. I say this all the time. I was saying this when I first came into this walk. Somebody quick, tell me the name of some African person that came over and tried to tell us that we were there. And it's horrible what these people are doing to us, and we need to come back to, even right now, the only people that are native Africans, for the most part, I'm gonna say I ain't gonna speak for all of them, and it's only been in recent years, like in the past maybe 8 years, but prior to that, wasn't no Africans talking to us trying to say, man, y'all need to come back home, come back to Africa. I know who you are. You are up. This is your tribe. This is your tribe. 500 years is a long time. Man, look, one time when I was getting my hair done in what's that town? Gateway. Gateway Flea Market. She remember. I was up there getting my hair done by these two ladies, and they were Sierra Leone's. Okay. And we started talking or whatever. And I don't know how we got on. Do you remember more to it than what I remember? We was having a conversation or
No,
whatever.
I think we had just saw Sankofa or something like that. We were like, I wonder what they thought when they saw those caves, and you were like,
But that's what the question went to.
And you said the next time you saw somebody from there, you were gonna ask. And
Oh, okay.
So happened that
Okay. So anyway, do y'all know where Sierra Leone is? West coast of Africa. And they have the thing with the point of no return, the great big giant castles or whatever, where we were held or whatever. And this sister swore to me that she didn't know nothing about us.
Until she got over here.
Huh?
Yeah,
Right. And I'm going back to I say, sister, how in the world do you had no idea about us being over here? And we were saying, I ain't talking about Israelite stuff. I'm just talking about, I'm not talking about the Israelite stuff. I'm talking about just the basic knowledge of
She didn't know about slavery.
right. And I'm going back for sister, you put on my leg. No, we're not talking about anything. Sister, how do you not? I know you know who Michael Jackson is. I know you know who Stevie Wonder is. I know you do. Everybody throughout the whole world knows us. And you're gonna tell me you don't know nothing. You just the thing we just that we were just American for real or something. I'm like, every time how do you go to the beach in Sierra Leone and not see a big ass? I'm sorry, y'all gotta go there because that's probably what I said. Slave castles, signs point of no return. That's y'all history. So I thought she was pulling my leg, but somebody else kind of confirmed to me like they don't really teach the people in Africa concerning us. I can't understand how that works.
Well, it's the same way that they're doing here. When you
Let's speak up a little bit. Let me see.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason what they're doing here.
Okay.
When you are a part of somebody else's tragedy, you don't want people to be aware of that. You want to bury that history when you play a part in it.
Okay.
So it's the same way of what they're doing now. Like they don't want to talk about our history.
Oh, wow.
African American history here in the United States. So they do the same there in Africa because they don't want to have played a part in that.
Okay.
So when you look at that region, that's where a lot of our the Confederacy is. They want to hide their hand. Yeah. And they don't want their children to know what they had done. Yeah.
But I think it's also too, and in addition to that, I think it's also divide and conquer, because just like the Egyptians were afraid that we would join another nation and conquer them, I think that the division that they keep between us keeps us from becoming one, because we can relate from skin color. We can. You know, a lot of them over there, you don't know who they are, and they don't know who we are as far as what tribe. But if you relate based off of the same uniform, the same way some of the people over here relate off the same uniform, then you become one. It's a possibility. So the divide and conquer is not there anymore. So they don't tell you about the ones in the islands. They don't tell you about the ones in Africa. They don't tell you about the ones all over. Because you can become one. Right.
Well, and like you said with the Confederacy, that's what they said. They say that the name of Yahshua will be no more remembrance. So they was perfect in how they, designed everything to happen the way they. One day I'm going to do a lesson on the Confederacy too. I thought
the
about
Willie
that.
Lynch letter may not have been real, but the theory of the Willie Lynch letter is absolutely real.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't think it's real?
I'm not saying it's not. Just some people say it's not real, but
some people try to debate.
But even if it's not real, the theory of it is absolutely real. He was like, "You're killing your product," and he's right. He was like, you put them against each other,
Yeah.
like man against woman.
It's hard to
But
believe
yeah,
that
so-
it's not real because you see
The yeah.
the,
I see the evidence of it.
Right.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm
Yeah.
just saying for people who
So
don't, even if you
people
don't believe that it's real,
right.
the theory of it is absolutely
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So skip down to verse 62.
And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven for the multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim. And it shall come to pass that as Yahuwah rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahuwah will rejoice over you to destroy you and bring you into naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
See, this is what one West needs to understand right here. This right here has to humble you as an Israelite. This right here don't allow you to be empowered to be, oh, I'm y'all's chosen and everybody else going to hell. That don't even fit in the context of the understanding that the Father not only said he was going to do this with you, he said he was going to rejoice over you to destroy you. See, this is what you need to understand. That the creator of heaven and earth is going to rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to absolutely nothing. And you shall be plucked from off the land, whether you go to possess it. Verse 64.
And Yahuwah shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there you shall serve other idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
That's right. That's right. Coming to that other place with a yoke of iron on your neck. And before they even took the yoke of iron off your neck, they telling you, look, this right here is God. His name is Jesus. So before I take this thing off your neck, all y'all kneel. And as I'm saying a prayer, because that's what they like in Greenleaf, the show Greenleaf. You all saw that show before? Greenleaf. Cynthia, you never saw Greenleaf?
I feel like
Yeah.
I've seen it because you always
The
talk
show
about
about the mega church. And what's her name? What's her sister name? Lynn Whitfield.
it. No, I know, heard of the
Yeah,
movie,
but
I
anyway,
haven't
with the
seen
show,
it.
oh man, we watch that show faithfully.
But you always talk about it, so I feel like I see it.
Yeah, that's a good binge watch. Man. The show was a great show, but people probably didn't pay attention to that when it starts off. It starts off with showing the slave ship and the slaves getting off the ship, and they come in with the yokes of iron on their neck, and there's a priest giving them, blessing them as they coming off the ship. Did y'all ever catch that? But you watched the show, right? You never seen the show before?
I know what you're talking about, but no.
Okay, yeah. When it comes on, that's one of the first things they show.
Um,
The slaves coming off the ship and the priest standing there blessing them.
Is that the one where also, I don't know if that beginning was the one where the ship, like they had the bow of the ship, and then they translated it to the Bible, because some Bibles have that bow on the ship. You know what I'm talking about? Where it looks like the ship is like that,
I'm
and it
trying
comes
to
down
see
like
that.
that.
Yeah, on some Bibles there's that design. It looks
It looks like
this.
the bottom of the
And
ship.
you see the thing, it's a slave ship. Y'all know that image I'm talking about?
Yes, I
Some
know what you're
Bibles,
talking
yeah.
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 I don't think a lot of people ever pay attention to it. I don't think I ever did until I seen it translated.
On your phone, Google slave ship Bible. And that should bring up that
I
image.
got something.
They have one in the museum.
Huh? Right. But that's on new Bibles. They still print that same image of the thing up there.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
looks
know
like
the
the
ship,
bottom of
right?
the
To show
ship.
the slaves on there. Yeah, that's like a common image on Bibles. But next time I go into the store and see one, I'm gonna have to buy it because it's in the bookstore
Yeah,
right
it is.
now.
It's in
Yeah,
Barnes
people
and
think
Noble.
it's just a design, but that's what it is. It's a slave ship. All right. So again, we was given fair warning of these gods of all of these nations, y'all. But the Father said, "Don't put no other Elohim before me." when you go into captivity, whatever God, whatever name of that God, whatever traditions of that God is, whatever the people be eating in dedication to this God, I ain't in the midst of none of that. There's so-called holy days that ain't me. I'm not there. I'm not with it. Okay, let's go on to Jeremiah the 3rd chapter.
Maury, I also had
Not Jeremiah 3rd chapter. Hold on.
I'm sorry, I also had read from slave documents that they would use that as a marketing tool. Like if you had slaves and you say they went to Sunday church, that was appealing to buyers and stuff. So it was also a marketing tool.
Oh yeah. How about that? And the thing is, in slavery, it was not hard, man, because church was our rest. When you had worked hard in the fields all week long, and you know that Sunday is that one day you were not gonna have to go into the fields, but you get to praise the Lord. And when we think the way that we be shouting now is something. My mom, she's from Columbus, Georgia, and she swears that the environment in Columbus, Georgia, wasn't as racist as everywhere else, you know. So that's where she's from. And so I grew up in the church, and man, we had some whatever services or whatever, where everybody just shouting and going crazy. My mom never shouted at all. And I remember we got home one day and she like, man, you see all them niggas shouting in church? They all shouting because they come out of Mississippi. And she said other places, because when she from, it was, she didn't see that hard oppression.
My family's from Mississippi. She probably records.
I believe it, because I knew me being a young dude, they know how long they had been in Chicago. And so they know that they were like 2 or 3 generations in Chicago, if 2 or 3 generations. But my grandmother, she from Mississippi, or this whatever, and she said when you saw them going crazy, shouting, going up, you say that's why they shouting, boy. They shouting all because they ain't down there in them cotton fields or whatever. That was her little thing. Okay, I said, dude, forget what I just said. You see, let's go to 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, as a matter of fact.
1 Corinthians?
Yes, ma'am. 1 Corinthians 10. When we do the quote unquote Black History thing in February, man, that's gonna take about 7 Shabbats to get through that, man. I got another lesson I'm inserting in that. Another lesson that I have to insert in that I've never inserted in that before. And I'm very excited about that. So anybody y'all talk to, man, invite them to come through February and March. This series might take us all the way to Passover. I don't know. It's gonna be just that deep. But 1 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, and see if we get some wisdom out of Paul here. Let's skip all the way down to verse 18.
Behold, Yasharel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything? But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Elohim.
Now he said that definitively, right? What the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to Elohim. So that goes right in line with what we read in Deuteronomy 28, right? Huh? Go ahead.
And I will not that ye should have fellowship with devils. Ye cannot drink the cup of Yahuwah and the cup of the devil. Ye cannot be partakers of Yahuwah's table and the table of devils.
Right, yeah. I love Yolanda Adams' voice, man, but hey, I can't go there and be partakers of that. Shoot, I love my family, my entertainment family, the Winans. I even play some Winans sometimes, you know. But because some of their stuff is spiritually uplifting, but when they calling on the name of their God or whatever, that's when you have to draw the line. Because they're dealing with the God of the Gentiles, the God of Christmas, and the God of Easter, the God of Sunday. But I say that the things which the Gentiles celebrate, they sacrifice to devils and not to Elohim. I should not that you should have fellowship with devils. Nope. If I'm going to some church or any around the church, whatever, I'm going there to edify, to educate, not to sit there. Same thing with people that I know that will come to a Shabbat class. Man, some knowledge here, you know, but then they'll still go to the Sunday church, you know. Man, why you still going there, bro? I'm going there, man, because I'll be planting seeds there.
Really?
All y'all done heard that before. All y'all done heard that before.
Sounds like it's lukewarm.
Huh? And see that, but see, here's the thing though, by definition, it's absolutely lukewarm. But they thinking their heart is in the right place. But it don't work like that.
Spiritually or
Huh?
spiritually.
Right. The reason why it don't work like that, because imagine you in Sunday church and the preacher going up there, you sitting by this dude, hey bro, know that Sunday ain't the Sabbath, right? Oh, really? All right. Well, his mind gonna be like, well, you sitting here with me. You sitting here with me. You ain't telling me nothing because if I'm here and you here, it must be okay. See, that's really what, and you don't think you're giving that message. Huh?
He's not being obedient.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, in his heart, he think he is, you know, because, you know, yeah, I grew up with all these people and I love them and that's Y and Z, so they know me or whatever. Yeah, man, but you ain't planting no seeds there. When the Father had given you not to understand, you have to remove yourself from that fellowship. And if you deal with the people, deal with them outside of their place. And don't go back in there because you're teaching them by going back in there. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't let your good be evil spoken.
Right. You can't let your good be evil spoken of. I've even entertained myself into, let's say, when I go to Chicago and I'm going to go visit my own church, whatever, I have actually, but I've never allowed it to happen, though. For whatever reason, I've never allowed it to happen. But I understand why, though. Because even though they haven't seen my face in 30 plus years, the moment I walk in there, the perceptions is got, oh, you know, I'll be the prodigal son in their eyes.
Oh, he has returned.
Right. Right. You know.
Until they ask you to read something.
Yeah.
That's what they did to me. They asked me to read that. What you did that for?
Guilty by association.
Mm-hmm. So you read 21, right? You cannot drink the cup of Yahuwah and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of Yah's table and of the table of devils. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically what we went there for, just to show that even Paul knew that you have to make a distinction between being a servant of Yah and joining yourselves with them that do not know Yah, do not serve Yah. Judges, the second chapter. All the way back to Judges. Brother say, man, them cats don't even deal with Paul, man. Don't be lying. We deal with the word.
Try to use it at least once.
I believe in that word that says, let Yah be true and let every man be a liar. you all judge me according to everything that I do, would nobody be in this building right now. Seriously. But the point is that what's true is what's true, and that's what we deal with. I don't care who speaks it. Just like going back to what we were talking about earlier. I loved Malcolm X. Matter of fact, I love Farrakhan. Because both of them dudes, when it come down to a socio-political dynamic, they can't be denied. Seriously. But the thing is, when you heard both of them speak, they rarely ever, if ever, come out of the Quran, quote out of the Quran, or even Allah this, Allah that, you know. It's all from a socio-political dynamic.
Yeah.
And they cannot be beat when it comes down to that dynamic. But the point is that I know how to listen to what they're saying, but I'm not dumb enough to become serve their deity. See? But a lot of us that don't know the difference, don't know how to make a distinction, we go all in. But I'm saying, but they are a good example of what I'm talking about, though. No matter how much wisdom you hear that they display or whatever, and just blow your mind with some stuff, man. Look, every week or just about every other week, I'm sharing something from either Louis Farrakhan or something Malcolm X said or whatever, you know. And then even in a fairness dynamic, that at their time, I think they were doing the best that they thought that they could at that particular time. You know, the father, whatever the father say, you know, it's on him. But, you know, he tell us that, you know, it's not given for us to judge. I ain't putting nobody in the lake of fire. Straight up. I'm trying to work out my own salvation.
With fear and trembling.
See, again, that's something that all Israel should know. Them cats on the street, they need to know that. You have not attained what you think you attained to. That's right. That's right.
Who are you to tell them that, hey, bro, you doing wrong, bro? You
Right.
doing this, not third. But look at what you doing. Look at your life.
Right.
What are you doing?
Absolutely. 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 No wisdom in that whatsoever.
They ain't winning those souls.
Nope. 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 As the scripture said, they turning people into twice the hell or whatever that they are. That's what the scripture said. They come past seeing whatever it said to make a proselyte. Judges, the 2nd chapter. Here, I'm gonna tell you a funny thing. Sakari, he featured this one brother. I never seen this brother before, never heard of him or whatever, and I was up at 3 o'clock this morning on YouTube looking at this. So this is a recent video. There's a brother out of he's out of Phoenix, Arizona, and I saw his they had a little praise and worship at his little church, and it was this size, not smaller. Matter of fact, it was 3 chairs here, 3 chairs here, and it was about 6 rows right there. His congregation was like mostly all Gentiles. Sound familiar, don't it, Andrea? This brother had a congregation.
All Gentiles?
Yeah, he probably had
Yeah.
about 2 Israelites up in there. And
He used to scare people.
huh? And Sakari featured this dude because he don't agree with this dude being a light to the Gentiles, basically. And he played the dude, and I'm listening to what the dude is saying. I'm like, do Sakari know that this dude is really killing him and what he's telling him? He was killing him. The name of Sakari video is who told this guy that he's preaching the gospel, something like that. But I was watching it, and I had watched to see who he was talking about. And the brother, and I think what made Sakari post him is because he's like, the dude was like One West. You know, he had the bandana, he had the fringes. And so I think that's what made him like, look at the dude, he comes out of One Way. They're trying to figure out, wait, come up. oh, he must come out of gathering of Christ. That must be because gathering Christ, they have Gentiles, you know. What's the brother that runs gathering Christ? Ricard. Gathering Christ, yeah, that's Ricard. They came out of One West, out of Philadelphia, but he the only one of all them that branched out from them and taught Gentiles or whatever. And he said, oh, that dude, he must come out of One West or whatever. Oh, I know if he come out of One West, let's see what he calls the Father. Because Ricard and they do the whatever. Ahaya, right. So that's what you're waiting for to see if we could call him up, but he called him Yahweh, like what they call him. He said, oh damn, he's not gathered in Christ. So he was just mystified by his brother. But the brother was teaching basically truth, straight up truth, and he was upset because he looked at the congregation, most of y'all Gentiles in the congregation. Oh, that brother, he trying to make money. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get paid.
So they were trying to.
Huh?
They're trying to break this man down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But and everything the dude was saying, he was literally killing him. But it's Sakari's warped way of thinking because he don't really understand scripture, you know. And you know, he got his followers in there. They all trying to talk about this dude. But it was very interesting to see that. I'm like, man, this dude is my counterpart in Phoenix, Arizona. Got a little storefront. It was crazy. They were doing a little praise and worship, singing songs of YAH, and he on the bongos. I'm like, man, check this out. It was nice, but if you saw him on the street, you'd be like, oh, that's One West right there. Yup. Okay, so yeah, we in Judges, the second chapter, and let's pick this up at Pick this up at verse 8.
Okay, and Joshua, the son of Nun, the servant of Yahuwah, died, being 110 years old. And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath Resha, Timnath in the mount of Ephraim and the north side of the hill of Gash.
Mm-hmm.
And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and those arose another generation after them, which knew not Yahuwah, nor yet the works which he had done for Yasharel.
Wow, let that sink in. How does that work? Man, see, sometimes you forget things. I might have forgot this. I'm reading it now, like, man, Yahshua died, and their generation were gathered, and also that whole generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yah, nor yet the works which he had done for Yasrael. My mind can't even fathom that. I'm mystified by that. Verse 11.
And the children of Yasharel did evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and served Baalim. And they forsook Yahuwah Elohim of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Mizraim, and followed other deities of idols of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahuwah to anger. And they forsook Yahuwah and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of Yahuwah was hot against Yasharel, and he delivered them into the hands of the spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them into the hand of their enemies round about, so they could not any longer stand before their enemies.
Ain't that something, y'all? So these people, they didn't even know Yah. These Israelites, I don't know how that ball was dropped, that a whole generation of people came up in Israel that did not know Yah.
Because they didn't teach it diligently unto their children.
Right. Absolutely. Well, we talking about a time span of not even 100 years.
Starting to forget during that time when Joshua died.
Right, exactly. It's like, look, I mean, you have to not know that you was in Mizraim, in captivity. It's a whole lot that you would have to not know So you must have thought you just came up and this is where our home is, this is where our forefathers lived, whatever. But they knew not Yah. But guess what though? Here's the thing about it though. It says the anger of Yah was hot against Yashrael. So the children suffered for what the fathers did.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, if you think about it, the Lord been telling the children of Israel, even when he emancipated them, to fear him.
Right.
But they didn't fear him.
Mhm.
And so with Moses was always interceding for him.
Right.
Moses had great mercy and compassion for them.
Mm-hmm.
But Joshua, he was for the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And they feared him.
Mm-hmm.
So if they
Right.
knew they sinned, they knew they was gonna get death.
Mm-hmm.
There was no and ifs about
Right.
it,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Mhm.
once he died, they went back to their same old way.
Oh,
His
that's
cat's
very,
away.
Yeah.
Wow. wow. That's
Yeah.
very interesting.
So it's fear. If you think about it,
Yep.
well, in all the Lord's creation, everything that is poisonous, dangerous, or whatever gives a warning first.
That's right.
Even a rattlesnake.
That's right. That's right.
You know, he
Right.
lets you know, I'm dangerous.
Right.
Come this way,
Right.
you're gonna get.
Suffer the
At your
consequences.
own
Basic.
risk.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
same thing, same. And the Lord gave examples. He said, "See my wonders." You should see it in the examples of the animals. Animals help each other. They will even help another species.
Right.
But we're supposed to be over them.
Right.
And how are they doing what the Lord designed them to do?
Mm-hmm.
And we're above them, and we can't even do right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Wow.
so that's my interpretation.
Right. Right. Mhm.
That's fair.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like she was saying, it was no one, there was no intercessor like
Right.
Joshua, so no
Mhm.
one to pray, you know,
Mhm.
for the people.
Mhm.
And like you said, like they just went back to their old ways. It just reminded me of when you was just talking about the Amazing Grace, where you had the person there who was praying and how they did away with him
Uh-huh.
and took the people because there was no one to intervene,
Right.
you know, for the
Right.
people. And so when Joshua had passed away, like you said, they didn't learn from his teachings to teach their children. Like we're supposed to, you know, go ahead and teach our children. You know, they became spoiled.
Right.
Well, they didn't want to do it in the first
Right.
place.
True.
It was that
That's true.
sword of Joshua hanging over their neck
Yeah.
that had them to conform and obey.
Right.
Correct.
So
Right.
once he passed,
Right.
that sword is gone.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that's what
that's
they
funny.
wanna do.
That
They're
two
gonna do what
things.
they want to do.
Two things that come to my mind with that is that kind of remind me of the political process of today,
Yes.
where we're gonna vote for the candidate that's gonna make it easier for us.
Mhm.
That's the candidate we want to choose, the one that's gonna make life so easier for us. So that's so what you said. That's how it was.
Mhm.
It's also a reminder too that we could do all the praying and singing and shouting or whatever, but if we ain't being taught this word, all that praying and singing and shouting don't mean nothing at all. And I'm pretty sure they was praying or something. Yeah, it was. We read where they was praying too.
Yeah.
And they was singing and they was shouting and they was doing all that at the same time. But without no knowledge and understanding, it meant nothing. It angered Yah. So that's what we're dealing with this lesson. False worship is not true worship.
Yes.
And everything about where we live in, what we dealing with in this society is false worship because the Father gave us fair warning. So I told people on Facebook today, I said, if you want to know why I be so hard against Christmas and all y'all that celebrate it, I did a meme, I shared a meme yesterday where a picture of Jesus and he walks in the door, he said, hey, y'all ready to celebrate my birthday? But at the top of our rope, listen up, heathens. And then they said, hey, y'all ready to celebrate my
I
birthday?
gave you a heart on that one.
Huh?
I gave you.
Yeah, I know people be offended, but at
No
this point,
way.
I'm trying to fit all y'all. I don't even care. I want somebody to say, man, you gotta call me heathen. I said, no, the Father called you a heathen.
Yeah.
But see, ain't nobody question me about it because they already know.
They know they
They already know.
That's-
So at a certain time, you just got to just raw and uncut. Because the truth of the matter is, sometimes one person needs to be told something. Because if I'm walking around here, Merry Christmas, it sometimes it only takes that one person to be like, bro, that's satanic what you talking about. And who knows? Just like the example I gave earlier, between you and me, like, hey, I'm telling you this is what I want to do, and you tell me, hey, bro, that's what you talking about, brother, ain't no side. Something if you ain't never had nobody tell you that before, right? Then you're gonna be thinking that it's all good. And we've all of us been there. There's not one of us that has not been there before.
Oh, yes.
Not one of us. All right. So where we at? Hold on 1 second.
Do you like how you specified in the beginning of the lesson about that Jesus was born December 25th?
Absolutely.
Y'all
Absolutely.
do you. That's you. We're not going to try to justify that, Yahushua was not born December 25th. We
Right.
don't even have to waste our time on that.
And you want to know, here's the funny thing about that, y'all. It was literally, seriously, I can't remember if it was earlier than this, but I say it might have been this year when that thought dawned on me concerning the fact is that people don't care nothing about the real Messiah. They don't care nothing about that Yahshua wasn't born on December 25th. No, they know that their Messiah was born on December 25th.
I thought it was very interesting this morning. I saw a little news clip on Facebook where they were saying that because of what's going on in Gaza,
Right.
Bethlehem, from all the tourists that's coming over there for Christmas, they said Christmas is off. I said, well, that's some good love for your Christ, ain't it? You go cancel the celebrations? Where's your love? You shouldn't walk in fear. You shouldn't worry about the bombs and the bullets if you go in there to celebrate your Christ's birthday.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of things that have happened since this. I looked at some videos. Well, I've seen it was some Israelis.
Oh yeah.
What I was say, they've taken DNA tests, and one guy like, man,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Israel ain't my homeland.
Exactly.
I thought, huh?
Wow.
And the reason being, this I'm gonna say the reason being because of this, and this is why we should not put everybody in a box. There are some Jewish people, a lot of Jewish people in Israel that hate what the government is doing. And they're literally siding with the Palestinians over there. And that caused them to question their own quote unquote heritage. And they're like, man, look, I thought all this time this was my home. This is why I'm here, because I'm thinking this is my homeland. Come to find out this is not where I'm from. There are YouTube videos showing them talking about that. Yeah.
I would wonder, because if all these years, all this war's been happening over there in the land for real, between Palestinians and the so-called Israelites or whatnot. Israelis, the people who are there, I would think it's like you were born into this. You seeing all this, this stuff going on. The land not even really producing, anything from, them planting. And it's like, I don't know if something would have clicked in. Like, is this really how I'm supposed to live? You know what I mean? It's like,
it's the same thing what they said earlier about when you're caught up into a system.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about
You don't question. You don't really question it.
But that came from more.
Huh?
It came from more. The Second World War. All the nations came together to give them a place, and they took the land from the Palestinians, and that is what is the constant battle
Yeah.
because they was not safe. Every country gave up their Jews.
Right. So when you are when you are a product of the
Environment.
or a product of the good part of it, why would you question it?
Right.
You know?
Also the word complacent.
Yeah, complacent part of. But here's the crazy part about it though. Because a lot of Jewish people tells you that there are no Jewish ethnic people. Jewish is a religion.
That's
Yes.
and that even in itself is like, bro, if it's a religion and not a people, or you get your heritage, where did this come from? Where did this so-called religion come from? What is the history of this religion?
Right.
If you're saying it that way, if you're looking
But if I'm living the good part of this thing, why would I question it? Though?
Right.
See, that's the thing. If I'm living the results of me being Jewish, you know, I know that some of my people were killed in the ovens in Germany, and this is I'm on this part of it. What would make me question it?
It's almost like the Samaritan in the Bible.
Right.
Yeshua was talking to her.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. See, that's the thing, man. That's the thing I'm gonna bring out too concerning all of the mass conversions that took place. You know, because Ashkenazi are the ones who are running Israel today that are Jewish. But like she said, there were conversions before. That's like 8th, 9th century AD.
Yeah, the one in the book of Maccabees.
Right. See, right, that's Edom right there. Edom was converted during the time of the Maccabees. That's 125 BC. Before them, let's see, that's 125 BC. Before them, you had, let's see, I'm missing somebody. It was a Maccabees in 125 BC. The Edom was converted through them. And oh yeah, and then you had the 10 tribes with the Sumerians.
Yes, Sumerians, yeah.
And then before that, a huge conversion was during the time of the Persians with Esther. Yeah, with Esther.
Yeah.
Says all the people of the region, and when you read that whole region, that's a big region. During the time of Artaxerxes, he said they became Jews.
Yeah, Paul converted people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those Gentiles there. So you have a lot of pockets of Jewish. Matter of fact, we so used to saying with the term Jew, it comes from Yahuda. Guess what? That's played, to be honest with you. Because 9 times out of 10, when you see the term Jew, even in the Bible, you're not even talking about an ethnic people. You're talking about the religion. Either you're talking about the religion, or you're talking about,
The people, the city.
Right, a citizen of Judea.
Oh, Yahudians.
Yeah, Yahudians, right, exactly. And they could be whatever ethnic, whether they were Romans, Edom, or whatever, they would call Jews by reason of citizenship.
And what are those 3 questions you have to ask people? Like in Jonah, I mean, like
Oh,
who
yeah.
those 3 questions.
Where do you come from? What is your occupation?
Yeah.
What people are you from?
Who was your Elohim?
And what nation?
I thought it was your God.
No, he ain't asked about no
I
God.
thought he did.
Nope, they ain't asked nothing about no God. Yeah.
Those are good questions.
Yeah. So you want to know where you go.
Yeah, they were trying to figure out who Jonah was. They asked him all that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they differentiate between what people thou are and what nation you come from. But those are two different things, right? Two different things. Wow. Yep, your citizenship don't mean that's your ethnicity, in other words. All right. Moving right along, y'all. Let's go on to Deuteronomy, the 16th chapter.
What did we end at?
Huh?
We ended the chapters?
Yeah.
Ended at 14,
14.
Judges 2 and 14.
My whole point there was just showing the time when we were serving a whole different God. And that reason was because, like she said, we wasn't teaching our children.
what been going on.
We're going to Deuteronomy, the 16th chapter. 12. Anybody got any questions in the chat? I see there was some people there.
16.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 16th chapter. I'm actually want you to read. Oh man, hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, this is interesting. I should have read something before that, but I don't have it here. In another place, I should have borrowed this from Morey Kazak's lesson when he read about how when we were serving, setting up the grove and the high places and the trees or whatever, because trees were part of these people heathen worship. So,
I mean, when we went to destroy them, or we were supposed to.
Or the
destroy them.
Father commanded us not to go into the high places and the groves or whatever. That's the whole throughout the whole law, or whatever. But I just want to read this particular based on that. Is Deuteronomy 16th chapter, and look what it says here in the 21st verse.
Okay. Right. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of Yahuwah thy Elohim, which thou shalt make thee.
You see that? See, that is a dynamic of trees, period. That trees were used they worship trees. So he gave them a commandment that you shall not plant thee a grove of any trees near unto the altar of Yah thy Elohim. So it means that you would make the altar to be defiled by the presence of these trees that the nations worship, right? Okay, so continue.
Okay. Neither shalt thou set thee up any image which Yahuwah thy Elohim hated.
So he aligned a tree which he created, but it's because of man's perception of these trees that caused it to be an evil dynamic.
But they can be majestic looking. Some of them can look like.
Oh, absolutely. But the whole thing is, it's just like, for instance, like big buildings right now. You know that what's the name? Nimrod. He made a big building, and that building in itself was worship, because just by like you said, the majesty of it. And we do the same thing when we go to different cities, and we go like, whoa, look at the skyline. Look at all them buildings here.
Yeah, don't go near.
Don't go near what?
What, New York?
I know.
I
was thinking too.
I just said that, said, then you get robbed because everybody knows you're a
No.
tourist.
If you have
but
never
don't
been
talk
to-
about the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Ain't having no,
Yeah.
building, no,
Right.
yeah.
If you've never been to New York before, man, driving into New York and seeing, and I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Chicago don't even come close to New York.
Just how it is.
And it goes for, I'm like, dude, somebody own I'm sure there's one of these buildings here that ain't nobody in, people forgot who owned it or whatever. It's just buildings upon buildings for no reason, and they're just like the tree, like trees in the forest, them tall trees. That's what these buildings is like. It's like it never ends. It's an amazing sight. But that's what he said here. He said, look, don't even plant a grove of any trees, because ain't nothing wrong with the trees, but it's the perception of the trees that he was dealing with. Okay.
Yeah.
Because these trees were being worshipped. That's what the people, the Canaanites, did specifically. Okay, so from there is where we're gonna go into Jeremiah the 10th chapter.
How fitting.
Huh?
How fitting.
Yeah, absolutely. But I read that to give a pretext to show exactly what the context is. So when we read Jeremiah 10th chapter, we will understand it. It didn't begin with Jeremiah 10th chapter. It began from way before Jeremiah 10th chapter, that some people were worshiping trees as the Most High. So Jeremiah 10th chapter and verse 1. Let's go.
Hear ye the word which Yahuwah speaketh unto you, O house of Yasharel. Thus says Yahuwah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
So that's two different things he's talking about. He said, first of all, let's look at the way of the heathen. We talking about the way of the heathen. He's specifically talking about in the way that they do things in honor of their idols. Okay? Say, don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, but we do that, right? Y'all know that tonight is gonna be an eclipse, the red eclipse of the supermoon and all this crap. Y'all be here. I'm like, what does that mean?
Like they just made with meteorites. And...
Yeah, but we are amazed at that. He
I
said,
do have a cool app on my phone for looking at
of
constellations.
course you do. And we're not learning your way.
You, me.
You set yourself up.
I am, 20 years.
Uh-huh. For the heathen are dismayed at them. Don't you be dismayed at them. You let them do when the sun crossing the junction with the moon, that's just a cycle. That don't mean anything. It has no meaning. But to these people they make a meaning for it.
I was listening to AJ's lesson earlier.
Speak up.
I was listening to AJ's lesson earlier. He was talking about Abraham and how he was brought before Nimrod.
Which lesson was this?
I think they just posted it.
Okay.
And it was talking about how when he went before Nimrod when he destroyed the idols or whatnot in his father's house, and then he took him before Nimrod. And he was like, "Hey, why you do this?" And they was just saying about
I meant
God
to talk about that. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
And he was like, saying something about how the Chaldeans, how our ancestors we worship the stars and stuff like that. And he was saying about what he said, because he put him and his brother in the fire. He was like, why not worship be like the water which distinguishes the fire? If not the water, then the clouds which disperses the water.
Right.
If not the clouds.
Yeah, he was telling. Right. He was telling. This is the conversation I think he was having with Nimrod.
Yeah, with Nimrod.
He was having a conversation with Nimrod, and the first thing he said, what was the first thing he said? Oh, he said the sun, I think.
He said something about fire, and then from the sun to fire.
Right. He said, right. He had said something, and then Nimrod said, well, why don't you worship the fire? And then he said, well, the water put out the fire. Well, why don't you worship the water? Right.
But he was just saying all these things and understand it came down to the winds, which is in us, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the breath of life. So it's like all these things y'all looking upon, but not looking upon the Creator who
created all that. Right. Yep. Yeah, and then I'm gonna allude to the thing with him and his father being idol maker. And we can read that in the book of Jasher. It's not in the scriptures, but it's in the book of Jasher. And that's when Abram was in his state of trying to learn who the father was. And even in that, it talked about how he worshiped the sun, but then the sun went down, and he said, man, where's the sun at? Oh, the moon. Then he worshiped the moon, but then the moon went back down or something like that. So he had
was searching for the Father.
Right.
He was searching for
He
the
was searching
source
for-
within the creation.
Right.
And that's kind of amazing how the Father will allow you to go on that journey of chiseling you from those idols and all those things and those thoughts that you have to come into Him.
Exactly, because see, the father judged Abram according to his heart. That was the difference. He might have not been doing right, but he knew that his heart was
trying to find truth.
Right, trying to find the truth. Right.
That he was being told.
Right. Exactly. And see, and that's a really good dynamic right there, because that really is what separates us as servants of the Most High from people that already think they got it. When you are in a state of learning, and that's what we do here. Seeking. I'm included. I might be up here, but I'm learning every time I'm up here teaching, I'm learning at the same time. I'm constantly learning.
Right.
Can read a passage in this thing 1,000 times and be like, whoa, wow.
Right.
It happens each and every time.
Right.
You can't get complacent in your understanding because your understanding has not yet come to a fulfillment. There's a possibility that you could be wrong about something that you believe in strongly your entire life. It's a possibility. But you have to be able to accept that a possibility. Most people are not able to accept that.
They're stuck in their ways.
Stuck in their way, man. Oh, here comes your side again. Look, bro. I can't even invite you into my house, man. I'll invite you in my house January the 3rd. January 4th, man. Because I know what you're gonna say. I already know what you're gonna say. Yeah, you see, you know what I'm gonna say, but at the same time, you don't know what I'm saying. See, ain't that deep?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, but you don't really know what I'm saying. Because if you really knew what I was saying, huh?
You wouldn't do it.
Right. You'll be inviting me into the house, man. Guess what, bro? Guess what you don't see in here? Oh, that's right.
Or outside.
Where the tree at? Yeah.
Where your lights at.
Where the lights at?
Where
Absolutely.
your refit on your door.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's crazy, man. Now, see, that's the thing that I'm lost on. Because when I first read Jeremiah the 10th chapter, when I first read it, oh, man. Whatever memory I had of a Christmas tree was dead and gone at that point. I don't see how people read, but like I say, though, dead, but see, that's what I say.
Eyes but don't see, ears
But they are worshiping their God, though. That's the thing. They are literally that they don't need you to tell them, you know, that they can't worship who they know that that's what they worship. It's just that deep to me because I had never came across Jeremiah the 10th chapter before. I could have been in church, and if I could have took my eyes to that Jeremiah 10th chapter, oh, the whole church would have got burnt up. That's how I feel. I never came across Jeremiah 10th chapter before, but when I first came across, but people have come across it every year. Man, that ain't no Christmas tree, man. Where's the Christmas tree at? I said, oh, you know what? You're right. What's the name of this tree? Ain't no name there. It's not giving you a name. It's telling you the actions of people and what they do.
Yeah.
So just because you put a name on the Christmas tree, that makes that void of thou should not do this.
Yeah. So captivated by the whole.
It is.
This whole, yeah.
It is.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
But it takes you to understand these scriptures to understand the whole dynamic of a seducing spirit.
Right.
You know,
See what I'm saying?
because every Christmas, man, I'm out here. I'm taking all my money, man. I'm feeding people, hungry people out
One
here.
time out of the year,
Huh?
the one time out of the year that the homeless get fed.
And see, that's what they don't understand. The gods, the idols will make sure that you would do everything in your power to make sure that everybody is included in your celebration.
Mic drop.
That's what it is. How you gonna even teach a poor person concerning not to do Christmas when they know that that's how we were as slaves? We worked hard all year, but December 25th was like heaven on earth to us. It was heaven on earth, man. That's right, because I've been wearing the same outfit the entire year.
You got me some new
One pair of shoes.
You got me some new shoes.
Absolutely.
God bless you.
Man. Ate something that I ain't ate all year because it be some candy or some no, we go into the store right now and get candy. Look, being on the plantation, can you comprehend being on the plantation where you don't even know what's going on 3 feet away from you, much less another city?
That Christmas tree was on the slave boat.
Huh?
It was on the
I
boat.
bet it was.
Because if you think about it, the indigenous
Right.
Indians, they wasn't putting up a
Oh,
Christmas
oh,
tree.
yeah.
Or you look at South America, they wasn't putting up
Right.
a Christmas tree.
Right.
That came over the pond.
Right. Well, to be fair, the way that we understand it from a Gentile dynamic, but other people had their own dynamics of tree worship too. They didn't call it Christmas; they called it whatever they called. Because Nimrod was an Ethiopian, and he deceived the whole world. All of the three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We called it by different. Just like when you look up Christmas specifically, what we are right now in America, we done put them all together. But in Germany, they had the Yule log. Sweden, they had the reefs and this, that, and the other. English, they had whatever thing they had. And we don't even separate them. No, it was all the same thing. Now it's all Christmas. But that's just the European I'm talking about. African nations had their own way of worshiping that tree. Shem had their own way of doing it. Satan see the whole world in his false worship.
Yeah, because even when it came to like history, at one point in time, the Christian churches did not accept
That's right,
that.
the Puritans.
The Puritans, until they saw that the members wasn't coming in.
Okay.
Because they were basically worshiping the tree or the deities. So to bring them in, they started to, bring in those other, accept a lot of those traditions. Those idols and those traditions.
Right. And then with it, and along with them, they created brand new cultures, created songs, created stories. That's what Moray Kazak was showing earlier today in his lesson when he was breaking it down. And about what's his name? Clemens something. What's his name? I do his name. He the one that did the Christmas story, the night before Christmas, and all through the house. And the preacher was throwing that even the mouse. And then they took into the whole thing. Y'all never heard that before?
But what's that again?
The night before Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And they just added more and more traditions to it that it just, man.
That y'all crazy.
Yeah. Let's finish this. What verse we at
Verse
now?
3.
Verse 3, okay.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hand of a workman with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it moves not.
Right. And see, here's the thing, because I was talking about the thing with Abram and how his father was, an idol maker. And then Abram went into where he had all these idols. He took an axe and chopped them all down.
And
put the axe in the hand of the biggest one. His father came home. He was furious. I tried to sound like Dave Chappelle. I was furious. What have you done, Abram? What have you done? Like, what I've done? I ain't done nothing. What you talking about? He like all the idol they chopped down. He said, "No, bro, this is what happened, man. What happened was that there was food brought into him. I think somebody brought food into him, and the idol had the food, but all the other idols tried to eat his food. So he took the axe and killed all those little idols. And look, he got the axe still in his hand. Like, man, Abba, that couldn't happen. That ain't how that went, man. He's like, well, if you know that they can't do that, then why do you worship these things? Right. So I had to interject because trees are the same thing. Here it is at that day, the tree out there minding his own doggone business, and you go out with an axe and you knock that tree down, you bring it into your house, and a tree cannot stand up by itself unless you probably try to lean it against the wall or something. That ain't gonna help. So they take a nail and a hammer, and they put a foundation on it.
That's why you're going against nature, cutting those trees.
Right. But the thing is that what you worship, you have to do everything for it, just like those idols.
Break it down.
I'm just saying what everybody else is saying. It's the same dynamic. Any idol that is made, you make it with your hands, and at the same time, you're gonna worship it.
That's so crazy.
The media don't.
And you know what? It's just like the meme I did. Check this out. I say, look, all y'all going to Exodus and 34th chapter, and y'all read that, and y'all be like, man, look, ain't nowhere in the world I'd have been out there in the feast of the golden calf. Get this man my gold earrings, and then I make a calf, and then all the people out there worshiping the golden calf. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So let me go ahead, let me read some more of this later. I got to decorate this Christmas tree.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We can all collectively read Exodus and 33, so they, oh, wait a minute, they actually did something stupid like that. But then we put that tree up.
Put that dang thing up.
Put that tree up, and he said, look, they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nail and hammers that it move not. Go ahead.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
They don't say a word.
They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good.
You know, some people go in here and read that and say, see, it said, don't be afraid of them, bro.
Yep, there are people like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Right, because they don't understand what it's talking about right there. The context is that the people worship this tree. They worshiped it. And he's trying to tell you that that tree don't have no power because it's not a God. But you done set it up like it is God. Huh? Your fear of the tree is so much that that's just the reason why you decorate it. Because it is God. And then you have and then you go get stuff, gifts, and you put it under the tree. And tradition is that when you did that, you didn't allow your children to see you do it. You didn't even allow your children to see you. They probably saw the tree as you setting it up, but that's all they saw. When they went to bed or whatever that, and that's when you went and got all these gifts and put it under the tree.
Magically, the gifts appeared under
That's
the
right.
tree because Satan brought it.
Well, actually, the tree bought it. See, that's the thing. The tree bought it.
The tree produced.
The tree produced these gifts, yeah. And then when the children come down, they bowing down to pick up, bowing to the tree to get these gifts. And apparently, I guess the Catholic Church was like, well, we're gonna stop giving power to the tree and give it to this man who knows where you've been sleeping and know when you were awake.
Yeah.
And somehow we're gonna put Satan's name in this character for some reason. That's a whole nother lesson right there.
Oh, yeah.
Verse 6.
For so much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahuwah, thou art great, and thy name is great in might.
So that's what he's doing. He's comparing these idols or trees to the Father. For as much as there is none like unto you, especially these trees, you are great, and thy name is great in might. Verse 7.
Who will not fear thee, O King of nations?
Right, because y'all fearing these trees. He said, don't be afraid of the trees. You need to be afraid of the one that created you. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? Go ahead.
For to thee does it pertain.
Right.
For so much as among all wise men of the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is none like unto thee. But they are altogether brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of vanity.
You know, in my mind, I had went back to the whole Adam and Eve thing. And again, y'all, that's what I'm saying. That his wife gave him this thing and he ate. No conversation. The point that I'm making is that the Father makes a commandment and he says, if you do this, you're going to die. I don't care if you knew about it beforehand. If you didn't know about it, Satan is crafty like that. All I need is for him to eat it. I don't need to make him believe that this is the best thing ever. That just like how his wife saw it to be something wise and to be desired. I don't need Adam to say, I just need him to put it in his mouth. Just like we eat according to the sanctified diet. But I come over to your house 12. I got it, man, this dish is good. Okay, I don't want to give you a bad idea, but this will never ever happen.
Yeah, you better
But
know that,
For
right?
prevention, though,
Right.
I'll give you this dish, man. Look, when you see how these Chinese people make their dishes, and it be rats. But once they chop that rat up and fry it up and put some sauce on it, that's going on right here in America. It has happened.
Yeah.
I know in the lineup in Alpharetta, they had to close this. That's where Bobby Brown and Whitney used to eat out of this place all the time.
Wow.
Chicken fried rice, rat fried rice.
Wow.
And it be looking good too.
Savannah too, it happened in Savannah.
Huh?
It happened in Savannah.
Oh my damn.
Yeah, they was killing and serving up all the neighborhood
Cats
cats
and
and
stuff.
dogs that
Yeah.
was running around.
Yeah.
And the food inspector, you know, they're gonna get checked. And realizing the garbage that it was the paws of something else that was
Oh. But the point is that you don't believe in eating abominations, but you happen to eat it by mistake.
Mhm.
Right.
You still gonna suffer the same consequences, though.
Right.
See, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You still gonna suffer the same consequences, man. I hate to say it, I'm not eating meat for 13 years
Wow.
until 3 days ago when I went and got some Taco Bell black bean tacos. And they put that beef in there, and I ate it.
You
So, huh?
You know it's in there.
No, of course I didn't know it was in there.
You ate it better though, didn't you?
Huh? Say what you say? What you say? I got to hear this. I need a case against you. What you say? I want to hear it.
I said you eat it up real quick, didn't you?
Damn.
This is the best
Yeah.
taco.
Yeah, I'm
What
already.
they done?
Oh,
The
man.
chef done did something different.
Eat it all the time. The point is, though, I could have gotten sick. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you're gonna still face the consequences, whether you ate it by mistake or whatever. It's the same
Right,
thing.
right.
So in this case here, I'm just saying he's talking about a custom here. Oh man, I don't believe that this tree is a god, but you know why it's a god? Because you was warned by the true Elohim not to do it, but you did it anyway. So what you think you ain't doing it because it's a god, it is. Because anything that you do contrary to what they'll say, Yah, by default makes that to be an idol, Elohim. It's that simple. The Father ain't gonna be like, oh, I saw when you did that, whatever, but you didn't work. I knew you didn't worship it as a god, so you get it. That's right. You get a pass. Uh-huh.
It's the same concept when they were carrying the ark and one of them touched it.
Right,
They
right.
still got judgment even
That's
though
correct.
they were ignorant
That's correct.
about
That's
what
right.
was going on.
How does that saying goes? The way to something is paid with good intentions.
Intentions, the
I
road
forgot
to
what.
hell.
Huh?
The road.
Oh, that's right. Hallelujah. I need to put that on the wall. Paid with good intentions. And that was a great example, man. Because the brother because his intentions was nothing but good.
Right.
But see, and then David felt bad about it. But how could David not feel bad about it? Because guess what? Somebody wasn't taught. Same thing we just read about in the book of Judges.
Yeah.
When you are born in ignorance, you have to reap the consequences of that. That's just the way it goes.
Well, David, had a special relationship, just as well as some of the prophets with but he feared. That was the first time he really feared. And, because he danced and
That's right. That's right.
and everything like that.
Right.
He had to go regroup
Right.
because he
Absolutely.
now was scared.
That's right.
And when you scared, you go hide.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
he had to regroup
Absolutely.
and then, reestablish
Absolutely.
himself.
Absolutely.
You know.
And see, And that, I like that, because that's the thing, man, with us keeping Shabbat, coming here and learning and trying our best to really be a true servant of the Most High. There's a certain level of accountability that we all have to have. I have to have an accountability as a moray to make sure that regardless of I want to feel like doing this or not, that it gets done and it gets done correctly. That's an accountability, and as a people, we have an accountability. So, you know, yeah, but going back, that was a very good example, you know, because the priests, as Levites, they have an accountability. I'm on the tribe of Issachar. It's not really important for me to know everything that pertains to the priesthood, because the priesthood wasn't given to me. But the priesthood was given to them dudes, and when they put that car on the back of a beast to carry it, they messed up. Somebody should have known better than to do that.
Yes.
But because they didn't do that, the Father called that beast a rock, and the thing almost fell. And seemingly innocent person, seemingly innocent, because we don't know what if there's any story about him. He just saw it was about to fall, and he wanted to save it from falling, and he ended up getting cut off because of that. Is there unrighteousness with the Father? No, it's not unrighteous with the Father. The king is the first responsibility. You know, that's why among all nations, there always may be a remnant of righteousness there, a remnant, no matter how big and small. But when you don't know how to get out the way, you're going to be killed along with the rest of the people. Because the Father is going to judge the whole people according to their righteousness. Right. Like Sodom. When the Father told Abraham what's going to happen with Sodom, before the Father even told him that, in Abraham's mind, Sodom might have been the most righteous nation of all. Of all the nations, Sodom was that nation. Because I risked my life for these people. I risked my life for these people, man. And so I know that they got a picture of me in every living room in Sodom.
They know better.
But now you tell me that you're going to destroy these people after I risk my life? That's why Father says, should I tell Abram this thing I'm going to do? And then what happened? Because all of Sodom was messed up, but the messed up part comes from the king on down. From the king on down. The same king that literally came to Abram and said, hey, man, you take all the goods, man, just give me my people so I can go back and be a nation. You can take all the good stuff. And Abraham said, look, man, you keep that stuff. I don't want none of that stuff. But go ahead with the people, the goods, and go back and go back and y'all learn from my nephew here, okay? Learn how to serve according to y'all salvation. Because the people were bought with a price. They were bought. See, we have a bad understanding. Yeah, Israel to have the Father known, but known don't mean know, because he know all nations. Known means the covenant part of know. It's like a man knows a woman. Well, scripturally speaking, I know her, meaning that you know her intimately. That's how the Father knows Israel because of the contract. But the Father knows all nations. But now at this particular time, he had a dynamic with Sodom because he sent his servant Abraham to deliver these people out of the hand of their enemy. So now they could not go back to Sodom, be the same people they were before they were delivered. So that's why Abraham ended up what? Bargaining. Right. But their judgment was already set. And Father like, okay, what you got? Yeah, what you got? 50? 50? Okay, 50. Oh, wait a minute. 40? Wait a minute. 30? Man, that might be too much. My nephew ain't doing the job. 20? Yeah, that might still be too much. How many people in Lot's family? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. How about 10? Okay. Hey, I'll leave the whole nation alone for 10 people. Guess what? I'll be like, look at the man, funny it looks. I wish I could have a camera in this up to it. But absolutely. The whole nation was destroyed, and the presence of Lot could not save that nation. So, man, sound rough, man. It sounds rough, but when you love Yah in spirit and truth, it's not as rough as it seems. And right, hallelujah.
And a warning was given too.
Huh?
And a warning was given then.
Yeah.
Not to look back.
Right. That's right. But this woman was on YouTube every day, watching these crazy, simple people doing their thing, watching the Real Housewives of Sodom. That's right. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. Absolutely.
Heard them all.
Right, her favorite hairdresser.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
huh? That's right. Got her on fleek. That's right. That's right. Every Wednesday night, boy. Girl, tell me what time your husband come pick you up, because I don't even want to be around when he comes through. He be tripping. Girl, you be tripping. I don't know how you deal with that.
It's like
Nobody
Vegas
dealing
for
with
her.
that stuff these days. Man. But man, that would be a great movie, man.
Yes.
That movie would be so bad.
Sodom.
The whole LGBT, this is where it's a guy. Right?
Oh,
You know?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all got me tripping up here. Isaiah 45, y'all. Isaiah 45. We're gonna get through this, y'all. We got a few more. What time is it? 336. She beat you to it, Tanda. 3, 3. You gotta say it slow though. 3, 3, 6. That young sister would come to class one time and I was going through this. I said, man, what time is it? She said, 5044. She wanted to make sure I do exactly. I'm like, that AM or PM? 45. Pick this up at the ooh, man. I thought I knew where I was gonna go. Verse 15.
Okay. Verily thou art a Elohim that hideth thyself, O Yah, O Yasharel, the Savior.
Yes.
They shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go into confusion together that are makers of idols.
Uh-oh.
But Yasharel shall be saved in Yahuwah with the everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
This must have been what Paul was quoting in Romans 11 chapter. He said, but Israel, he quoted this right here, but Israel should be saved in Yahuwah with the everlasting salvation. That's deep. Go ahead.
For thus says Yahuwah that created the heavens, Elohim himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahuwah, and there is none else.
That's why he's coming back to destroy them that destroy the earth, man. See, as this is like that, I'm saying, man, we got to understand, I don't care. Everything that the Father made is precious. Everything.
You should let those trees alone.
Huh?
You should let those
Should have
trees
left
alone.
them alone to do exactly what they were meant to do.
Yep. Bear fruit.
Right, bear fruit or whatever we used it was for our use. You want to chop it down and make a house out of it? That's what it's there for. All of that. But everything is precious. Every life is precious, man. You being an Israelite does not make you no better as anybody else. All of you, it makes you worse because you have an accountability that the other nations don't have. The other nations they're gonna be judged for however the Father's gonna judge them. But our judgment is worse because we have an accountability that they really didn't have. We have to know it. We
Know
have
better
to.
and do better.
Right. Go ahead, where we at?
19.
Uh-huh.
I have not spoken in secret in the dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, Yahuwah, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. Assemble yourselves and come. Draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. They have no knowledge that set up the wood of their graven image and pray unto an idol that cannot save.
Uh-huh.
Tell ye and bring them near. Yea, let them take counsel together. Who hath declared this from ancient time? And who has told it from that time? Have not I, Yahuwah? And there is no Elohim else beside me?
And you got some people that have a false teaching that these other Els actually exist. Like they're part of a pantheon of God. I heard this one brother, I'm gonna call out his name because he teach it. No judgment. Brother named Divine Prospect. I heard him teach this one time. Y'all heard of Divine Prospect before? Named Ron Shields out of Atlanta. You know what I'm talking about, Chandra. That's your boy used to watch on Shabbat evening, late at night, he'd be on. Light skinned brother.
Oh, yeah. I like him.
I know you do. I said he was on YouTube. I like him. But yeah, he teaches that. I know a few other people that teach that. But the truth of the matter is, they're all idols. In another place, Jeremiah said, "Why do they?" No, I don't want to misquote it. How that quote go, Tonda? It's in Jeremiah. They serve these Els, which are Noel.
Oh, yeah, Noel.
Which are yet Noel, which is what, Christmas, Noel.
Oh man, I was just thinking.
Right, absolutely, Noel. And they're not. You said all of them are idols, man. All of them are idols. They don't exist. Uh-huh. Pick up where I left off that.
A just Elohim and a Savior, there is none beside me. Look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth. For I am Elohim, and there is none else. I have sworn by myself. The word is going out of my mouth in righteousness, and shall not return. That unto me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall swear.
I know what it says in the quote unquote New Testament, but this is YAH is talking about, y'all. I have sworn by myself, the word going out of my mouth, and shall not return that unto me. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue shall swear. Go ahead. He said, what? Nobody else besides me, talking about as being who I am as the Elohim, the head, the father. Wasn't no two fathers up there. Go ahead.
Surely shall one say, in Yahuwah have I righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed.
Sure enough.
In Yahuwah shall all the seed of Yasharel be justified and shall glory.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Ezekiel 14 chapter. Again, that's what we're dealing with, man. Thou shalt have no other Elohim before me. Ezekiel 14 chapter. Started from the top, verse 1.
Then came certain of the elders of Yasharel unto me, and sat before me. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart, and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them? Therefore speak unto them, and say unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Elohim, every man of the house of Yasharel that setteth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to the prophet, I, Yahuwah, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols.
Man, he said, if you're gonna come to me, you need to come correct. That's accountability, man. We praise y'all, but do we really want y'all to be in our households? Do we really want him to see what we doing Monday night, Tuesday night? We should, but that's what he's saying, you know. When I'm in this group or whatever, group of us, let's go to Brother Ezekiel, the prophet. Can't none of us stand him, to be honest. But we know, bear witness that the Father speaks through him. Can he stand him? Damn. I asked him one question to get some knowledge. He gonna rebuke me for something he know I done did. I ain't come here for all that. You know, that's the reality though. That's what the Father's talking about. Look, Ezekiel, you might not know, but I know. I see them coming to you before they even knock on the door, so I'm giving you the heads up. They're gonna ask you something specific with a not an understanding, but I want you to rebuke them for their sins. Because ain't no not an understanding can they be worthy of unless they get themselves together.
See, that's one thing I was talking about earlier. Christianity, when they have the prophets coming in,
Right.
they want to tell them what they want them to hear instead of rebuking them for their sins.
I posted this video last week. It was this young sister, and I guess she was in a little thing on some kind of YouTube podcast or whatever. And she's I guess she's a porn star, as a matter of fact. And she
Yeah.
I think I shared that.
Yeah.
I shared it.
Gentile?
Gentile, young Gentile, like in her 20s or whatever. Yeah, that's right. And the guy kind of rebuked her and say, you know, what God do you serve? Or something. I'm paraphrasing, you know, and you think he's all right with what you're doing? And she's like, yeah.
Hold on.
She's ain't gonna sin to do.
What do you mean she current porn?
Yeah,
porn star?
current, yeah.
Oh,
That's what she do. She's a porn star. And he said, you think that God is all right with that? Oh, yeah. God is all right with everything that I do. He loves me. Oh, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right.
I was like,
Right. Do you be wearing that when you be filming or whatever? Well, yeah. In fact, I wear this, whatever. And she said in all her pride, but that absolutely is how we feel. We feel that the Father just loves, like we just have this favor with him. Regardless of what we do, it don't even matter. His love transcends all of our actions.
No matter what you do.
No
You're
matter.
supposed to love
Doesn't
one
matter.
another.
Huh?
You're supposed to love
Man,
one
look.
another. That is the new commandment.
But ain't no way, but you can't read that nowhere in the Bible. But like I said in the beginning, these people are worshiping their gods, though. Really, they don't want to know nothing about the true and living Elohim. I don't want to know about him and what you do and how you spend your Saturdays and nothing else, man. I'm here and I'm very comfortable. And I have a relationship with God that nobody else can tell me nothing about.
You're blessed and highly favored.
That's right. That's right. That's it.
Only God forgives me, right?
That's right. All of that. All of that. Where we at?
Verse 9. That I may take the house of Yasharel in their own heart, because they are all estranged from me through their idols. Therefore say unto the house of Yasharel, thus said Yahuwah Elohim, repent and turn yourselves from your idols, and turn away your faces from all your abominations. For every one of the house of Yasharel, or of the stranger that sojourneth in Yasharel, which, okay, or
No, it just made me think, you know, you got a whole group of people that think that when you see stranger, you talking about an Israelite. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it. Or the stranger that sojourneth in Yasharel, which separated himself from me, and setteth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and cometh to a prophet to inquire him concerning me. I, Yahuwah, will answer him by myself.
Wow.
And I will set my face against that man and will make him a sign and a proverb, and I will cut him off from the midst of my people, and ye shall know that I am Yahuwah.
Uh-huh.
And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, Yahuwah, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people, Yasharel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him. That the house of Yasharel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted any more with all their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their Elohim, says Yahuwah Elohim.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right. Jeremiah, the 2nd chapter. Again, man, it's that one verse that just changed my entire understanding, man. Jeremiah 2nd chapter, and read it, man. Verse 11.
Has the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
Have they? That's the question. Go ahead.
But my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit.
Man, that 11th verse, man, I could do a whole 3 hours on this one verse. I could do a whole 3 hours on this one verse. Have a nation, They have not, man. That's why you still got Christmas about to happen 2 days from now, because they have not changed whatsoever. They are still worshiping Jesus, the one that they taught us. Because we didn't teach nobody Jesus. We ain't teach nobody no Jesus. They had a Jesus before Yahshua came 2,000 years ago that they were worshiping. How do I know that? Because the scripture just told you that. Have a nation changed their gods? No, they have not. Not we the one changed our God. Simple as that, man. That verse there just opened so much stuff up to me. Romans, the 10th chapter. We got one more place after this, y'all. I'm gonna close out. Romans, the 10th chapter. Huh? Yeah, let me get a little bit. We're gonna stop him when you start tripping. All right. Romans, the 10th chapter. And damn, even some of this though, he's gonna be tripping. But start this off at the first verse.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Elohim for Yasharel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Elohim, but not according to knowledge. For they being ignorant of Elohim's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Elohim.
Okay, stop here because he actually gonna say something here that's gonna be kind of tripped out, and I really don't want to really read it, but
just beginning of his statement where he opened up, just saying about how we didn't know about or bear witness to what Elohim has done and the knowledge of Elohim. So how can the people not have the knowledge of Elohim and what he has done and, not have the zeal at the same time?
well, he says, for I bear the record that they have a zeal of Elohim, but not according to knowledge. So when I read this, it's kind of like the same thing when I see somebody going to church every Sunday and doing their thing.
They don't know that they're doing wrong.
Right, they don't know that they're doing wrong, right, but the zeal is there. Just like the zeal of the guy that ran up to catch the ark. That was zeal, because he refused to see that ark go on the ground. That was zeal, but it was misdirected because it wasn't backed by what? Like it says here, knowledge.
Do you think,
Huh?
And all his letters, it seemed like he had a thing against Israel, Paul.
Right, yeah, that's true. That's true. There was a certain dynamic with Paul where
He just had something against.
right.
Well, he's always said before he even came into the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, you know.
You gotta understand that.
Like I said, I don't want to get too deep in it. My theory on that, this is my theory. My theory, everybody hear this because I got to qualify.
You gotta say that. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
My theory is that, again, when I think of Paul, I think of somebody that was part of One West. You know, because when people join a One West group, what's the Great Millstone, IUIC, you know, whatever, GM, whatever, all them groups, to them, that's the first Israelite that they ever came across. And so they come in with all these scriptures, man, wow, unbelievable. But everything that they consider godly, whatever, that's what these guys is preaching and stuff. So I'm falling with this stuff. So I'm saying that this sect of Pharisees that Paul joined himself with, these guys was murderers.
Okay.
You see? And Paul was right there. I mean, Paul was like a leader. Because when them cats took off their coats and set it at his feet, as they're about to stone Stephen, he says he was consenting with them to his death. So, according to his witness, he received a conversion when Yeshua met him and blinded him, whatever. So something happened with him.
It was two different stories.
It's three different stories. Yeah.
They're totally opposite.
Right. Right.
Exactly.
But the point is that something happened. And so as a result of that, just like you being part of one of them groups, and you out there on the street, you cussing Gentiles out, and you doing all this stuff, and you got a Bible in your hand because you justifying everything that's being done. But then somebody come along and tell you, hey, bro, that ain't of the Most High, this, that, the other. Or you find out through some other kind of way. You might have been at home on Sunday and you seen Joel Osteen or something. And he might have said something that might have been some bit of wisdom. And then you go, oh, damn, I've been out here being wicked. Right? And so what you do is that you might throw out the baby with the bathwater because it has been done. It has been done. Get on YouTube. Vocab alone, he know all of them. This guy was a part of GMS, but now he's, you know, part of Jesus. He's a Christian apologist now. He interview every time one turn like that, he interview him because that's what happened. They have been exposed to some wickedness in this organization, and then I don't want to deal nothing with Israelites no more. I don't want to hear nothing about no Israel no more. I don't want to deal with Sabbath no more. Shoot, I might even eat me some barbecue ribs tomorrow because they thought that's a reality. So when I think of Paul, I think that's the same thing. It's like whatever he experienced, he found out that, man, I was among these wicked Israelites. And now he kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. That's my theory. That's my theory. So, because some people are just like that in their mindset, you know, their thoughts. They relate everything to a particular group and they don't want to deal with it no more because of a bad experience. Like, man, somebody come to you. So then when somebody like you go up to that same person and you open up Deuteronomy 20 and you try to show them the truth, oh man, Deuteronomy, bro, I know anything about that. You can't even tell me nothing, man. I've been there, done that, been there twice, 3 times already, bro. You know, because that's their perception of Israel. You know, so like you say, you're absolutely correct, man. He tells the Gentiles, like in Colossians, he said, beware of the concision. You know, talking about Israel. He said that quite a few times. He's a deep character, but
he really is a cool.
But right here though, like I say, man, I'm gonna take him at his word because he's absolutely. And notice He said Israel collectively, even right here. He didn't even differentiate between some Israelites that were being wicked and some wasn't. To him, it was like, oh man, y'all, y'all got that zeal, but it ain't according to righteousness. That's what he said. Just to quote him directly. That's what he said. For they, who's they?
Israel.
All Israel. That's right. He ain't differentiating between them. For they, cause look, I'm an Israelite, but I know better. But all them other Israelites, they just don't know. That's what he basically said. Come on, that's what I'm reading. For they, being ignorant of Elohim's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness, and we said their own, what were you talking about? Them brothers over there got their own righteousness. Them brothers over there got their own righteousness. Them Israelites over there got their own righteousness. He put them all together.
His next verse makes him the same way.
Don't it not?
Isn't that funny how they?
And see that next verse, I really didn't want to read it because I was trying to make a point. But that next verse is what really enlightened me. That's what
Well, it
made
makes
me.
him the same as the people we talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to read it anyway, y'all, but I don't want to get too deep in this. But this verse here, single-handedly, because one time I was on Facebook, it's been about 7 years ago, and I literally quoted this verse and trying to show somebody something. And for that one particular time I quoted, I said, you know what? I'm putting words in this dude's mouth.
Yep.
This verse right here.
But we used to say aim.
Right. Read that. Go ahead and read that. I'm trying not to get too deep. 4.
For Mashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believes.
See,
Yeah.
see, it says end, but it don't really mean end of the law. It means he's the aim of the law. And I done said that for years. It didn't hit me. I was like, wait a minute. I done put words in Paul's mouth. It just hit me just like that, and it made me do more studying what he's saying about then you go into Galatians, he's talking about the works of the law is not going to save you, and this, that, and oh man, he meant exactly what he said right here. For the Messiah is the end of the law. And so when you have conversation with them apologists, Christian apologists, that's all they want to hear. Look, Christ is where your salvation is. It ain't no salvation in you keeping the Sabbath. It ain't no salvation in you watching what you put in your mouth. It ain't no salvation. None of that. No, just believe in Christ. He is your salvation.
I guess I can commit adultery and murder.
All of that.
All of
that.
But we covered that before when we talked about it some Sabbath before.
Yeah.
Where he said he was almost like he worshiping the Messiah.
Right, because you're right, and that's what he did. Because he knew how the Gentiles was, because he had a Gentile education. And all the Gentiles needed was a figure, because that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
They're used to a presence to worship and to idolize. And it was also in a way to make things not to be hard for them.
Yeah, it's
To
like a
make it-
substitute. It's like substitute one with the other.
Right.
Everything was
Right.
about idol, and so they can have
Right.
more understanding.
That's right. So y'all don't have to be circumcised. Y'all ain't got to deal with the circumcision. Y'all ain't got to deal with none of these things that these Israelites call themselves talking about. They ain't got to, like I say, but when you read all of it, and it breaks it down. But there's one verse, man, it hit me in the wrong way, and I called it in. I'm explaining to somebody, yeah, end means aim. He's the aim of the law. Well, no.
This here said he's the goal of the Torah.
Oh, okay. So it says goals. They put that in there.
Same. No.
Yeah, they put that in there, but that is not what Paul was saying right here. He was not saying that. Matter of fact, I ain't want to do this. If I read the rest of this, man, y'all can see that. Read some more of this. This is a whole other thing I want to go ahead.
For Shemaiah describes the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them.
Okay, right. Look at it say. That's what Shemaiah said. But now what?
He gonna take one statement that Shemaiah said instead of taking out everything else that he taught us to do.
But watch what he's doing here. He made a very true statement about Shemaiah, but he's about to show you that was then. Watch this. Read that one more time.
For Shemaiah describes the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them.
But watch this. But
the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise, say not in thy heart, who shall ascend into heaven, that is to bring Christ down from above, or who shall descend into the deep, that is to bring up Mashiach again from the
okay,
dead.
hold up. You know what he's doing right here, right?
Yeah, he's taking what came from Psalms.
No, it's Deuteronomy.
Okay.
This is Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter that he's quoting. And it does not mean what he's saying here. Huh?
Is it Deuteronomy or Proverbs?
It's Deuteronomy, 30th chapter.
Yeah, 30 and
We can go there and read it.
No, okay.
It ain't nothing about what he's saying right here. He gonna throw Christ in it, and that ain't what Deuteronomy was talking about. Matter of fact, what was Deuteronomy talking about? The law.
Yeah,
That's what it, matter of fact, let's go back there real quick and read that. And this is what I wasn't dealing with, but I got to read it since I'm here. Deuteronomy 30th chapter.
12,
Huh?
12 to 14, yeah.
Okay. Pick that up at verse 12. No, not verse 12. Pick this up at verse 10. Let's see what he's talking about. Is he talking about Christ as he just threw that in there? Verse 10.
30, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
If thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which are written in the book of the law, and if thou turn unto Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Therefore this commandment which I command thee this day, it is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven, that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou shouldest say, who shall go over to the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in thy mouth and in thy heart, that thou mayest do it.
It said I ain't even had this in my lesson. Can you believe that? Huh? This is blatant. Let's go back to the Romans and read it as he put it. God, that is so blatant. That is so blatant. I'm embarrassed by it. Go ahead, read it. Verse 6. Now, he done already told you what Shemaiah said, and Shemaiah is clearly talking about the law, but he throw in his own made up interpretation right here.
Romans 10 and 6. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise, say not in thy heart, who shall ascend into heaven, that is to bring Christ down from above, or who shall descend into the deep, that is to bring up Christ again from the dead. But what says it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart, that is the word of faith which we preach.
Huh?
No, I was saying, my note, I got a little side note. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
What?
No, I was looking at my side note I had in here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, which we preach, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that Master Yahshua, and shalt believe in thy heart that Elohim hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
Belief, faith. The law is, it was unto, he said it was the end of for the Messiah is the end of the law for righteousness. He made that so plain, and we put our own interpretation to it. They said that couldn't be what he was saying. And man, that hit me. I was like, oh man, it blew my mind.
One thing about it, I had to memorize that verse right there when I was young, Romans 10 and
I mean, of course, I agree with that because that's what the three pillars. That's what Peter, John, and James preach.
Right.
but it comes with the keeping the law, the obedience of keeping the law. He's like, no, that's not necessary. All you gotta do is just believe, have faith. The whole faith versus works thing, and I'm gonna have y'all do the lesson on that. Yep, the false doctrine of faith versus works. I was gonna do it, but I say, you know what? I'm gonna see what y'all come up with that. Yahshua ain't never preached nothing about no faith versus works. Everything that Yahshua preached out of his mouth, Paul was not preaching the same thing. Man, I ain't really. I hope y'all got something out of that part, man. I ain't really meant to go there. I just wanted to show about establishing your own righteousness and not submit yourself to the righteousness of the Most High. That's where I was going with that. Skip all the way down though to verse 17. Oh, verse 16 rather.
But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah said, Yahuwah, who has believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Elohim. But I say, have they not heard?
That was funny how you said that.
Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
True that.
But I say, did not Yasharal know? First, Shemaiah said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. But Isaiah said, Elijah, I think Elijah or Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But Isaiah is very bold and said, I was found of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that asked not after me. But unto Yasharel he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hand unto an disobedient and gainsaying people.
Right. So his whole purpose was about Gentiles, y'all could do what Israel didn't do by having faith and by believing. Because Israel, like you say, every time he spoke about Israel, it was a very negative connotation.
You know what? I feel like he took that and he ran with it.
Yeah.
That of us being in our own disobedience,
right,
I was gonna deal with somebody else.
Right.
That we not know of. So what he did was his narrative was, okay, these some disobedient people. So let me go over here where these people
right,
who are, they got their own idols or whatnot.
Right.
Let me take someone, their Hamashiach, or their somebody who came who was politically assassinated, and take them, make him an idol, and let them know, hey, this person you just gotta believe on,
right,
and you're gonna be saved. And they are in their disobedience, so you ain't gotta worry about them.
Right.
But you just do the customs and the things that they're doing, and believe on Yeshua, and you be saved.
Right. 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 Don't be like them, though.
Yeah, don't be like them, but do what they do, but don't do what they do, but don't be
right.
like them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Last place we're gonna go to though is you know what? I just realized something. I think I had 24. I might have wrote this chapter down wrong, because I see I got 17 to 24, and there's not a 24th chapter, 24th verse here. So I might have written that down. But be it as it may, let's conclude the matter by going to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. You already know. There ain't a chapter in this book better than Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter.
It's my favorite chapter.
Matter of fact, y'all, we're gonna read this. I wasn't gonna read the whole thing, but we're gonna read this all the way down to the 40th verse. Y'all good with that? Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, picking up at verse 1. This chapter incorporates everything. It don't leave nothing out.
Now therefore hearken, O Yasharel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you. for to do them, that ye may live, and go and possess the land which Yahuwah your Elohim of your fathers giveth you. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim which I command you.
That's right, but we know that by translation, so-called transliteration, that had already happened, that they have added and took away from the word. But through the spirit and through understanding, we're able to, like the Father's name, they took that out, right? And they substituted it. But the Father has allowed us to see how they did that, and so we're able to call him by his name and not by the fake name and titles that they gave him, all right? But that's what he commanded. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that you may keep the commandments of who YAH, your Elohim, which I command you. Go ahead.
Your eyes have seen what Yahuwah did because of Baal Peor, for all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Yahuwah thy Elohim hath destroyed them from among you.
Now let's look at that one verse though. He said, your eyes have seen what the Lord, and that ain't even a name. But when you got to the false deity, you got a name. He ain't say the Baal Peor. No, Baal Peor is the name of the deity. And again, Baal Peor is not English. Baal Peor is the actual Canaanite deity in its fullness, in its language. So why would they have Baal Peor there, but they took the name of the Father out of the book? Help me out with that. Huh? So that ends the argument about, well, it's a language thing, but you gotta understand that that's the Hebrew, but in English it was transliterated by, no, because all of the pagan deities are in their actual language in the English Bible. So it can't be a language issue thing here, okay? But be it as it may, your eyes have seen what Yahuwah did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that followed Baal Peor, Yah thy Elohim have destroyed them from among you. And y'all know that from lack of understanding, they thought that Baal was Yah. Huh? We see that when they offered up the calf. And Aaron said, tomorrow is a feast to Yah. That's what he said. And he was trying to show them that this is Yah that came out this fire right here. He should have been killed. He shouldn't have lasted another day after that. But the Father in his mercy allowed him to continue to live a little longer after that.
You see, well,
Huh?
yeah, Father allowed him to live. Was it? My question. Well, I can. Was it because of his righteousness? Because of what his obedience? But at the same time, he was disobedient because he built this idol.
Yeah, he was. The scriptures say he was disobedient. So I can't, unless I can read it, I can't say exactly
that's what I'm saying. Why did the Father do that?
Maybe it's because, okay, I'm gonna make a guess. And my guess could be incorrect.
Yeah, right. I got you.
Maybe it's because he knew the hardship that his brother was going through and trying to lead the people, and that he loved his brother. So therefore, if Aaron would have got cut off, then he would have had to have a whole new one of Aaron's sons to take the place of him. And he probably didn't want to. I say that's just me, guessing. But he should have got dealt with, just like the dude that stuck his hand out and touched the ark. She should have got, but the Father in his mercy allowed Aharon. Maybe it was a dynamic that Aharon was terrified of the people.
Right, I'd say.
Right, and so it was like, well, I'm going to give him a pass because he thought he was going to die unless he gave the people what they wanted. So it could have been that, but unless I can read it, this might be in here, but I just don't know where it's at, that he allowed him to continue in it. But But go ahead.
But ye that did cleave unto Yahuwah your Elohim are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you the statutes and judgments, even as Yahuwah my Elohim commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
This one verse alone is what single-handedly separate this verse from all chapters, from all other chapters, because people always desire wisdom and understanding.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah. If for nothing else, man, just so you could just see how smart I am. Take you on a whole nother level, Jack. Just listen to me. But the Father, like, hey, first of all wisdom ain't good wisdom. He said that in the scripture, all wisdom ain't good wisdom. That these people got a wisdom that's earth. But did you just quote that? Did I hear you just quote that? What did you say? Oh, see, on top of it, that's what it says. It says earthly and sensual, absolutely. All wisdom ain't good wisdom. But he says, this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. This right here ain't nothing else. Nothing else. This right here is your wisdom, your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. This was what would have kept us from being enslaved, y'all. Can y'all understand that? If we would have just held on to our Constitution, all other nations would have had no choice but to just bow down and accept the wisdom that came from on high, from the Most High, through his people. We was given it, man, freely given it, but we rejected it. What, verse 7?
For what nation is there so great, who have Elohim so nigh unto them, as Yahuwah our Elohim is in all things that we can call upon him for?
That's right. Back then, all the nations on the earth understood who we were and the relationship that we had with the Elohim of the whole earth. And either they were gonna be obedient and be our friend and join themselves to the covenant, or they were gonna hate against us and fight against us and war against us. But what happened was the Confederacy got together, and we know what the end of that story was. The Confederacy, it took them 4,000 years to succeed to do what they endeavored to do. I'm gonna do a lesson on that one day. The Confederacy, man. When they put their mind together, Edom, the head of the Confederacy, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, all of them, it took them all that time to succeed and to bring Israel to nothing. But as long as we'd have been obedient, they could have never succeeded in it. Go ahead.
And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thy eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and to thy sons' sons.
Right, because the law teaches how we was to deal with our enemies. It teaches us how we was to deal with our neighbors. It teaches us that we don't deal with something of vanity that don't profit, that we might fight one another, have jealousy among each other. The law teaches us all of these things, man. Not to be using our mouth to bring forth evil. The stuff that we see going on today, it teaches us everything. There was gonna be no hunger among all the people.
Agriculture and all that.
Yeah, all that. Yep, agriculture, everything. Everything that we wanted to live life on this earth righteously was given through us through the keeping of the Father's laws and statutes, that he said that when other nations would see this, they'd be like, man, this is a wise and understanding people. Ain't that something? Go ahead.
Especially the day that thou stoodest before Yahuwah thy Elohim in Horeb. When Yahuwah said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words. They may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. And Yahuwah spake unto you out of the midst of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only you heard a voice. And he declared unto you this his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tables of stone. And Yahuwah commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments.
Christianity say Mosaic. Ain't no such thing as a Mosaic law. Huh?
Nope.
He
Because
did-
it's not Moshe.
Right.
It's not his.
Right.
Ryan's.
He did not write not one single law.
That law existed before then. It existed before then.
Yeah. And when he made a mistake, what you about to say? That's what you about to say? Okay, you said it.
The proof is that when he himself broke
Right.
the law, he couldn't even go into the kingdom.
Couldn't even go into the land.
Mhm.
So how he defied his own law and now he
Yeah.
judged because he couldn't keep his own law?
Yeah.
Don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That ye might do them in the land where you go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahuwah spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
Now, it just occurred to me something right here. He said, take you therefore good heed unto yourself, for you didn't see nothing. You didn't see no image or nothing on the day that I spoke or Yah spoke unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. So when we were talking about Paul knew that the Gentiles needed an image to worship. That's the way. That's the way.
That's what we used
That's how
to.
they function.
Right. But when you read this is saying that that's something that we wanted too, because we looked at every other nation and they had an image.
Yeah, because they came out of Mizraim.
Right.
Or they had a
Right.
king or somebody.
Huh?
Or
Well, yeah, they had the king. That's right, they had the king. And the interesting thing about that, here's something funny about that, the king part. In Kazak's lesson, he had mentioned these names, and I was looking at it like a drama Melech, and something else Melech.
Oh.
I caught that this morning when I was watching this lesson. I'm like, wow, these are the names of, I guess they were kings, but they were also gods. No, they were actually gods, but they had the name Melech in their name. Melech meaning king. I caught that this morning. Huh? Did you watch this lesson this
I
morning?
watched. I didn't see that part of it.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched most
a
of it.
Dramalek, and then right after Dramalek is something else Melech. But these were gods, but the word Melech means king. So the point that I'm making is that right here, we as a nation wanted what they had. We needed to have an image as well. You know, but the Father, like, you didn't see no image. I ain't getting you no image. So we, in our stupid way of thinking, felt we were diminished because we didn't have an image, but everybody else had images. Ain't that something? Okay. Wait till you sit down. Read that 15 one more time.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahuwah spoke unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. That ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air, the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground, the likeness of any fish in the waters beneath the earth. And let thou lift up thy eyes unto, and lest thou lift up thy eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, should it be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahuwah thy Elohim hath divided unto all nations under the whole
That's
heaven.
what we were talking about earlier with Abram. When he was trying to find YAH, he actually did these things. Now the Father said, look, don't even look up to heaven and even try to make the sun to be an Elohim and the moon and the stars. That's what all the other nations did. Even right now, man, we talk about a Sunday. That's what that come from, sun worship. Moon day, moon worship. So forth and so on, man. The names of these days that they given are in honor of these gods of the heavens. You say, but hey, I created the things and divided them unto all nations under the whole heaven. Verse 20.
But Yahuwah had taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Mizraim, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Furthermore, Yahuwah was angry with me for your sake,
Sure enough.
and swear that I should not go over Jordan, and that I should not go into that good land, which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee for an inheritance.